And wow, it loaded the first time, first attempt. All right, I'm very glad for that. Um, so I heard that Qazlal gives you 9 shield at maximum piety. I don't know if it really is the case or if it stops at 8 shield. I don't know. 9 seems kind of a weird number. Maybe it stops at 8. But we shall see as the game progresses. Right now, I don't have a buckler, and I will not have a buckler because I'm using a vampiric Lajatang. The arc of that Lajatang was so funny. I think it's well worth to put this character on YouTube, regardless of its fate, based on the first part alone, because the first part it was very very funny. Like, it happened to me and I found it extremely funny. It's a weird looking octopod. I did update the stream title, didn't I? Hmm, okay. I thought that I had updated the stream title, but apparently it was not the case. Let me change it. Thank you for letting me know, Gemini. Palentonga Warper of Qazlal. 2 out of 2. Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna finish this character tonight. I would be very surprised if it wasn't the case. Um, and today is December 16. All right, that is done. Thank you for letting me know once again. And now we can continue with the Palentonga of Qazlal. That is absolutely not an octopod, nor a weird looking one. So yeah, last time we were here standing in the entrance to Spider. We have a pretty loaded character. We have crazy armor class, mm, a crazy weapon. We have 8 slaying, 8 slaying. We have the Hat of War. Like, we have the Hat of War. What's next? The Gauntlets of War? I would appreciate the Gauntlets of War to complement my Hat of War. And I guess I would even take the Black Knight's Barding because I'm already ponderous, so just add a sprinkle of ponder on top of ponder and turn into a Naga. um, but yeah, we shall see how that goes. Regardless, we have a piece from Sum's chessboard, completely useless item in my opinion. Not having a shield will be quite annoying when it comes to dealing with tarantulas and spider. They will definitely be able to hit me and hurt me quite a lot. Unfortunately, I kind of forsake my warper powers, so I would love to blink here, but I can't do that. I'm gonna try to tap, and let's see how that goes. If it turns out to go kind of bad, if I drop below 100, which is very likely, if I drop below 80, I think I re-teleport. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Getting rid of the weak, easy to kill monsters, as far as easy to kill can go when fighting with spiders. Okay, we did drop below 80, but there was only one Emperor Scorpion remaining, so I think I can. No, I can't. I can't. At 60, I cannot justify it because I cannot walk away from it. Normally, you would be able to do so, but being a user of pondering, I cannot run away from anything in the game. Well, anything that appears after the very early game. You could wear pondering and still be able to run away um, from like a worm or something, but that's like more the exception than the rule. As I frequently mention, worms are in the game to very intentionally and explicitly like explain or like show to players how you're supposed to handle monsters that hit too hard. Hello, Cali Commuter. Good to see you around. Thank you for stopping by. And something makes me think that this is not gonna be fun to do. Yeah, in your confused state, you trip and fall back down the stairs. Tarantulas are gonna be absolutely abysmal. Maybe I shouldn't even be here because this does not feel good by any means. Um, okay, go upstairs. Okay, we succeeded going upstairs. I completely forgot, but I don't have poison resistance, and so that could be a serious issue. I am obviously confused again because I have a tarantula next to me. And yeah, like this is not really going well at all. So what I'm gonna do is try to not do spider. Maybe, oh no. Maybe instead of doing spider, we can do something else. Hmm. You know, one of the things that I like the least about Qazlal is that if you train enough invocations, the area of upheaval grows. And at least you have guaranteed a 3 by 3, but it makes it really hard to target because you're not guaranteed this. So I would say that the sweet spot for Qazlal invocations training, believe it or not, is like as high as you can go without making it do this, because this kinda is pretty bad. In my opinion, it is pretty bad. And I know you may be thinking, well, how can it be really bad if how can it be really bad if it affects more area? But it is pretty bad because it lets you like I could target it like this, and I am pretty sure I would hit this tarantula, but I don't know if I would hit this wolf spider. I don't like how unreliable it is. Like for example, there, did you see how I used the upheaval ability and it hit only a 3 by 3? Like it didn't hit any of the outer ring of tiles that it could theoretically hit. That I extremely dislike about that ability. Maybe you're not supposed to use that ability. I still think that it needs some buffs, upheaval. And I see that Trunk is still broken and I cannot rest to full HP. I rest to 90% and then after 90% every time I gain 1 HP, the resting stops. And that is pretty abysmal. Um, so yeah, I guess we're gonna do Swamp instead, but maybe, ooh, that's not good. Hmm. How bad is it for me to switch to that? Let's see. It's pretty bad. It does kind of let me walk away, and that's a pretty decent thing to be able to do. 21 armor class from 33. That feels kind of bad. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to roll with this. Because the poison is an issue, a serious issue when you don't have a shield. And I may be blocking some things with that 8 shield from Qazlal, but who knows? Maybe it's bugged and it doesn't do anything. Regardless, it's only 8 shield, so it probably doesn't do a lot regardless. And yeah, this is pretty awful. This is the Qazlal experience. Despite the fact that my character is theoretically really strong, I still go downstairs and immediately become surrounded by monsters that confuse me, and so I have to spend one turn drinking Curing and hoping that I don't get reconfused, and then one other turn thinking about how am I going to deal with these spiders. But Condenser Bay, unfortunately, is about as good as I could have possibly gotten for dealing with these spiders. They are all poisoned now, so it's only a matter of time for them to die. Um, I hope that I don't have to spend any consumables prolonging my life while I wait for these spiders to die. Hmm. Okay, and yep, we're gonna probably be fighting the entirety of the level. The Qazlal experience. At least I have Vampiric and Source of Regen, so it won't be as awful as you would think. Okay, another 3 by 3. We have an Orb of Destruction there. Chances are good that it's gonna hit me and it's gonna hurt. Um, hmm. Interesting. I waited a turn and the Orb of Destruction didn't move. I was expecting it to hit the monster that was here that apparently jumped. Mm, yeah, the joys of Spider. Spider is really a place that I very much dislike with a character like this one. But the alternative is Swamp, and Swamp is also extremely bad for what my character is trying to do, which is not die. I think Swamp could also very easily kill me. I would have preferred Snake most likely because the character is kind of good to fight one versus one fight. I wish I had Digging too. Digging would be ideal in this situation to fight in a reasonable arena where I don't have 4 or spiders in line of sight, and obviously waiting outside of my range to be able to blast me with Orb of Destruction. Mm, hmm. Yeah, I was thinking of maybe rolling towards one of these orb spiders, but I think I would land here, and so it would hit me, and I would be extremely hurt by that, and that would not be good. Okay, another one. Yep, that's not looking good at all. It's actually looking extremely bad, but there's really nothing that I can do. This character doesn't really have many good range capabilities other than Qazlal, and Qazlal is a bit of a joke. I have 17 invocations. I think with 17 invocations, it is not unreasonable for me to be able to kill weak, low HP, low armor class enemies such as orb spiders, and it really isn't doing it. Um, 26. Fortunately, we have a demonic crawler right here. I'm gonna try to roll. Oof, that's not good. Yeah, this is so bad. Thinking of either walking forward or just waiting a turn and letting the demonic crawler to walk towards me so I can roll towards it to avoid the orb of destruction. But maybe instead of waiting a turn, I'm just gonna use a heal wounds. Okay. The Orb of Destruction hits a rock wall. Perfect. Um, I already went down to 5 pips of piety from the continued use of. Oh, there's lava there. That is very inconvenient. Okay, the Orb of Destruction hit me and barely dealt any damage. So I already went back to 5 pips of piety from the constant use of what is it called? Upheaval, yes. Maybe I should have used Elemental Force in that fight, and maybe Elemental Force would have won me the fight with a single use of the ability instead of multiple rather underwhelming uses of Upheaval. But what do I know? Yeah, it's not gonna hit me. Um, mm, okay, that is not good because I'm already hitting uh, tiles outside of the 3x3 that I mentioned earlier. That makes it so that maybe I will hit myself with upheaval sometime. I have no idea why that can hurt you. In my opinion, it would be good if it couldn't hurt you. But what do I know? Maybe I should stop using upheaval altogether. I'm just using it because these fights are not fights that are favorable for my character. My character is a low evasion, low armor class, no shield character. It does have high armor or high HP at least for this point in the game. So at least on that regard, we're kind of okay. But yeah, it's definitely not ideal to have a character like this do snake or do spider. Fortunately, after exploring a bit, we find After exploring a bit, we find a ring of poison resistance, and that gives me the ability to go back to my old Ponder chainmail. And funnily enough, we also find the rat skin cloak, which leaves me able to go back to my ring of willpower. Very funny sequence of events right there. Yeah, I don't like, or I don't really care about the rats that you get from the rat skin cloak. I think they're extremely weak for even the early game. I have gotten that item in the early game, and it hasn't been like amazing or anything. You keep thinking it's Friday. Today is Wednesday. Maybe you think it's Friday because this is the fourth stream of the week. And I used to only stream 4 times per week, but now we're doing 5 streams per week. And as I suspected, I did end up fighting pretty much the entirety of the level. Very unfortunately, a bolt with a bunch of spiders and some questionable loot happened to generate right in the middle of the level, within range of my incredible noise. Today is Thursday. Um, not Wednesday. Yes, today it's Thursday, not Wednesday. Still Thursday in the new world. Yeah, still Thursday in the new world. And it might be Wednesday in the past. Maybe it could even be Tuesday in the past if you think about it. Okay. Mm, I don't like the fact that it seems that all of these fights go bad for my character. And by go bad, I mean I am at not full HP and I have so many monsters to deal with, including, of course, tarantulas. Let's try to upheaval them. A funny thing, I gained and lost enough. I gained and lost piety from using that, and then um, I went to 6 pips of piety and 5 pips of piety in the same turn. That was pretty interesting. That doesn't happen very often. Um, I still think upheaval is too expensive, both in piety cost and actual effects and damage, to be worth it. Or maybe I'm using it wrong, and maybe I'm using it like it's a smite, and I should use it only to place clouds or something. I have never really noticed if it places clouds, but maybe you're supposed to upheaval and then elemental force to summon a bunch of allies and have them win the fight for you. The second ring of poison resistance. We don't particularly care about it because we already have a better source of that. Nuevo Terre, Nuevo Mundo. Yeah, that's how you would say that in Spanish. Nuevo Mundo. Mm, ouch. Maybe don't be. Oh, I guess it's fine. I have resistance to electricity thanks to Qazlal. I wonder when do you start getting the resistances from Qazlal? Hmm. It seems to be at the same time or before than the point at which you would be getting disaster area, which by the way I don't think I'm gonna use a lot. I think it's not that amazing. Everything that Castle offers is like a bad version of Ru. Well, not really. um, I guess Castle does kind of have retaliatory attacks in a very strict sense of the word, or rather in a very like the opposite of strict, lax sense of the word, with the clouds. And I guess theoretically you have, wow, this is crazy. I have 20 corrosion. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna kill that Entropy Weaver. Okay, we end up killing the Entropy Weaver finally. 20 corrosion. Um, yeah, Qazlal does kind of have retaliatory attacks. Does have a massive upside like or a massive downside like Ru. Does kind of have its own version of Apocalypse in the form of Disaster Area, except that Apocalypse is way better. Um, and it has even more downsides because with Ru, I mean, imagine if Ru abilities costed piety, that would be so bad. It would be unusable. So of course they don't cost piety, but Qazlal abilities cost way too much piety. Um, Maybe I should use an Amulet of Fate, but then I run into the issue of not having regen, and not having regen is not the best thing in the world. Um, so when I get the chance to go into the level and not have a million spiders surrounding me, the fight goes way better. That is definitely a nice thing that I can appreciate about this character. We can definitely get rid of orb spiders with relative ease if we can just roll at them before I start being surrounded, just like this. And if I was with Ru, this would be the moment where I would press the Apocalypse button. And if I wanted to do that with Qazlal, well, I would be out 8 mana and a bunch of piety. I would most definitely go down to 5 pips of piety, and I assure you that not half of these things would die. Let's do it just for illustratory purposes. Yep. Not half of these things died. I don't think Disaster Area is so good. It's gotta be Elemental Force, the thing that you're supposed to do with Qazlal, because it does get you a million allies, and that is something that you always want to have. because allies do make the game better. I personally don't like having allies in Crawl, but they make the game easier. They divert a lot of attacks away from you, and they also add a sprinkle of damage. Okay, should I stop training that? Probably. Let's train armor, only armor. Maybe I'll go back to dodging later. Chances are, well, it's rather unlikely that I will go back to dodging, but I might. Hmm. Wow. Like I really do think the downside of going Qazlal is massive and unreal. I think this character is only in a relative rough spot because I am with Qazlal, and if I was not with Qazlal, the character would be very, very powerful. It does have a crazy set of gear already. But my god is kind of a downside instead of the upside that it should be. That's pretty crazy to think about. The fight against Arachne is going almost flawlessly, let me tell you. Um, yeah, that was crazy. I wonder what happened there because I was hitting Arachne extremely hard. Either Arachne got like very low HP, or I'm just like really dealing that much damage. Okay. I'm kind of regretting not getting Toxic Radiance for doing Spider. I think I should have gotten it. The moment that I saw that I got Spider and then I got Toxic Radiance, I should have gotten Toxic Radiance to make this into something bearable. Um, I have to say that being Palentonga, as I have mentioned, really makes this whole ordeal less painful. Um, you get the ability to roll towards orb spiders, jumping spiders, to roll away from orbs of destruction too, and those things happen to be pretty good. Mm, mm, okay, there we go. Good sidestepping. Isul. Isul happens to have a 6% chance to put me to sleep. And I could counteract that by switching to the quarterstaff of the swamp and remove all possibility of Isil putting me to sleep. Yeah, now it would be 0%, I'm pretty sure, and it is. Um, Unlike with my previous character, the one that I played the other day, the Octopod, Isul is a bit more dangerous because I am not immune to poison in Palentonga form. I only have poison resistance instead of poison immunity, but still, Isul fails to deal too much damage. I think it's funny because under certain circumstances, Isul can definitely be a weaker Guardian Serpent because it lacks the signature thing that Guardian Serpents have, and that would be the ability to pull enemies from outside the screen, pretty much, to fight against you. And it's very funny that we got these gloves because now we have um, 12 slaying. Yeah, 12 slaying and a large attack is gonna be a pretty good win. It's not gonna be easy because after all we're still bound to Qazlal. But if I was not with Qazlal, I think I could just hold down Taft to win the game pretty much. Um, and it would be very unlikely for melee variants to destroy me because I just deal so much damage that when I do land a couple of solid hits, I'm probably gonna heal myself to full HP. But Qazlal kind of doesn't let you do that well because the fights go for so long. Mm. But who knows? Who knows? Let me inscribe these with something like great value gauntlets of war. Yeah, a good name indeed. Store brand gauntlets of war because after all they only have 4 slaying instead of 5 slaying. They're still pretty good regardless. Yeah, like wow. Um, let me tell you that this character is pretty enjoyable when the fights go in its favor. Somehow we got a Palentonga Warper to this point in the game. I have no idea how I didn't kill this character in the very early game because after all, Warper is probably among the worst starts in the game. Um, but I guess I just got lucky with the early game inventory drops. We got some darts of Kirer, and those are pretty good for surviving the early game. You can definitely throw one of those at an ogre and easily be able to run away from the ogre or orc warrior. Maybe one knoll, one soul knoll, or many things. You cannot run away from everything. Um, some things might be fast and poison resistant, like, for example, black mambas or water moccasins, but you can definitely do your best to try. And those are definitely the exception. There's many more things that generate in the early game that you can indeed affect pretty hard with Curer. Mm, the effect of Curer, I don't know. I don't think anyone really underestimates Curer, but I do frequently see people die with Curer to like an ogre that's within melee range, and that kind of thing really shouldn't happen if you keep in mind that you have such a powerful consumable for escaping such a situation. Mm, so we got Luis, 2% chance to banish me. That is exactly 2% more than I would like to see, but still extremely unlikely for me to get banished by Luis. However, her tower shield is a big threat. Um, I think it's very unlikely for me to be able to hit her. About 12% chance to evade your vampiric light attack, but she will block my attack. Yeah, she will block my attacks a lot. So I'm just not. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip that part of the charade and just use elemental force. And that destroyed Luis so bad. These elementals get rid of single enemies extremely quickly. Maybe the proper use for the elementals from elemental force would be to just use the ability against a powerful, unique. Um, and if that is the case, I can tell you that it has been very effective so far. I used it, and 2 turns later, Louise melted. How's it going? I just got great value Gauntlets of War, so I guess it's going well. Yeah, take a look at those. Great value Gauntlets of War. Mm, so, so yeah, it's going well. How have you all been doing? I hope that you have been doing well. Yeah, 12 slaying with this character. Unfortunately, I still get hurt quite a lot. When the vampiric doesn't trigger, it's kind of annoying. And I guess this whole place is kind of annoying as well. We also got the rat skin cloak, but I'm really only using it as a cloak of poison resistance. Um, yeah, I don't particularly care about any of the other properties of the rat skin cloak. Um, I don't think they do much for a worshipper of Qazlal. I have had rats be summoned and immediately die to my clouds. I really think this character would just be better if I was not a worshipper of Qazlal. But unfortunately, we are a worshipper of Qazlal. You've been trying to win Cat, not enjoying that. I don't think it's possible to enjoy Cat. Um, like last time I played a cat was literally a year ago for my one-on-one in this account. Unfortunately, it did end up happening. Like it was a first attempt win. Um, I would not be too thrilled to play a cat again, especially because the thing that I did to win my cat, which was just go Dreadem Null and hide behind my Dreadem Null allies, is not really a thing that you can do anymore. Um, yeah, now you enter a level and you have to be more proactive in order to get allies. Sorry. As I was saying, in order to get allies to be able to finish the level with, or allies that can clear the level for you. Mm, so yeah, maybe I would recommend you to go to 0.27 in the pre-new Dredelem Null times and win a cat of Dredelem Null like that. I would also recommend you to do that for some. You're trying cat summoner and trying to hide behind them. It's gonna take you so long to win that. Not because of many failed attempts, but even because on a successful attempt, just hiding behind your monster takes so long. Like, take a look at my own one cat in this account. It took me 10 hours for a 3 rune game. Oh man, cat is like, I don't know. I don't find it fun by any means. I don't enjoy um extremely high variance experiences, and I would say that cat is that. Like, every fight is just variance. You're gonna get hit, and if you get hit once, you have to run away because you don't have the HP or the defenses to keep fighting if you get hit. Um, yeah, I would like to see cat straight up removed because I don't enjoy that. Um, but I also could just choose not to play cat. I think I'm okay regardless. Fortunately, I don't have to play any more cats. Instead, I can play less awful species like Palentonga. And here we are. By the way, we just got a rune. The rune that we got was not nearly as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Um, Now I could go do bolts, and I think I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna switch to my Scarf of Resistance. Um, so we lose 2 armor class, 3 armor class. Um, I'm okay with that. We also lose poison resistance, but we gain cold resistance, very important in order to be able to not explode to those frost heart guys. Ooh, dire elephants on the entrance. Let's see how the fight goes. So far it's not going well. I got hit twice. I got hit a third time. Oh, we found a corridor. That's perfect. Okay, now the fight is won. Um, yep, this character is especially powerful on a corridor. Um, it's not like an axe character or anything. No, no, no. I want to be fighting 1 versus 1, hopefully against non-enormous slime creatures. Yeah, 2 large slime creatures is way less dangerous than 1 enormous slime creature, and we've managed to beat them all pretty quickly. It's funny that as soon as I mentioned the corridor, I got slime creature bans to generate, because those you cannot really fight in a corridor, no matter what kind of character you're playing as. 1% banishment. I'm gonna hope that it doesn't happen. Wouldn't be the first time that I get hexed at 1%. Um, and I think it would be bad as a Qazlal worshipper to get hexed at a 1%. A mighty far giant zombie. Um, those convokers definitely might everything. It's pretty bad. Uh, I wonder if they have some form of um, secret check that they do where they see if there's no mighty monsters on the screen and mighty someone. Because they seem to do so extremely consistently. Yeah, you see that? Like, it happened the turn after the convoker entered line of sight. Or maybe it's just that the chances for them to might something got greatly increased recently. I don't know for sure about that one, but it definitely seems to me that they have been convoking way more things than before. So, War Gargoyles, they were terrifying for the Octopus that I just played. For this character, I don't think they are so scary. Because fortunately, I would say that I have good armor class. I don't have amazing evasion, but whenever they do hit me, and they are gonna hit me, sorry, they won't be hitting me too hard. Kind of sleepy tonight, but I feel way better than the other day. where I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to finish the character. Fortunately, I was able to finish with some assistance of coffee. Coffee is so good. Mm. Okie dokie. For the future of this character, I think it would be a very nice thing to find some other resistances that I have yet to encounter. We do have fire and cold resistance from the scarf and the barding, so at least on that regard we are very well set off. But I definitely want to find resistance to electricity, poison resistance, ideally resistance to corrosion, and maybe one pip of resistance to negative. Um, but we shall see how that goes. We can get some of those from body armor, but we cannot get all of them. Um, I know that I'm not going into sod without poison resistance. Last time I tried to do sod without poison resistance, I literally died. It was greatly in part because I didn't have poison resistance, but it also had something to do with the fact that I got Berserkitis. I saw that it was 1%, and I figured it's not gonna happen, and it happened the turn after I got Berserkitis. Like, I just pressed tab and I immediately berserked, and then after berserking, I saw a green draconian and I died pretty much from full HP. So yeah, don't do sod without poison resistance. Like, it really is not worth it now that poison for players is so ridiculous. I heard that these guys, oh yeah, they are buff. Now they deal way more damage and they blink away from you. Mm. Fortunately, as a Palentonga, I can definitely exploit monsters blinking away from me. I can just roll towards them and they will explode. Because after all, I do have 12 slaying. Enchant Armor, I'm gonna buy that. I could also buy the Immolations. Yeah, I'm gonna buy them because otherwise I'm gonna run out, or I'm gonna forget, or I'm gonna be like, oh, I only have three, I don't want to use them. But no, in reality, I actually have five, so I can afford to be somewhat liberal with my use of immolation, and of course I can do immolation into elemental force, and that is very likely to kill pretty much everything. In fact, that's probably gonna be my strategy for doing slime. Um, just going in, immolation. Well, maybe torment immolation, elemental force, something along those lines. Maybe with three, so I don't halve my own HP. Who knows? Who knows? Mm. So yeah, enchant armor. Let's enchant the barding, and I am enchanting that barding because it is a barding and it has a relevant resistance. It's extremely unlikely for me to stumble into something better than that barding. Okay, we found statue form, but this is definitely not the kind of character that wants to use a statue form. Okay, I lure these guys in so I don't fight the frostbrand next to a wall. Unfortunately, Halbert doesn't have a polearm. Yeah, the only one with a polearm is this guy with a halberd. Um, oh, and this bolt guard with a bardiche, of course. So I need to get rid of the bolt guard. This is not going well. Oh yeah, it is not going well. Condenser Bane. Mm-hmm. I think I'm just gonna wait for the clouds to do their thing and try to get some BAMP out of these guys. Bodies is bad. I would be able to win a fight against bodies rather easily. I do have. I guess I don't have silence. I thought that I had it because usually by this point in the game you have silence, but apparently I don't. Regardless, I still think I would not do bad against bodies, but at only 100 HP, I could get hurt quite a lot by that iron shot. Elementals. What I was thinking of was actually using immolation. Okay, now that I have used immolation, we're gonna use elementals because the elementals are gonna spawn, and then these explosions are gonna happen, and I am going to be able to get more clouds. So it's just clouds on top of clouds. Aha. Bodies didn't die from that. The warden that was locking me in did die, and that is something that I greatly appreciate. Bodies is unaffected by immolation because the scroll doesn't check willpower, but it will not affect monsters that are immune to willpower-based effects somehow. So I don't know how the scroll works. Yeah, it seems weird to me that it doesn't check willpower, but it doesn't affect monsters immune to that kind of thing, like Quicksilver oozes and bodies, good old bodies. There's a bodies in the way. I was expecting there is a bodies in the way, um, but it didn't happen. Ooh, big damage on bodies with that roll. Okay, bodies is almost destroyed. I guess we're gonna try to get rid of bodies now. You destroy bodies. I'll get you next time. Something makes me doubt that, unless you generate in the run, in which case you are definitely extremely dangerous, bodies. Yeah, in case you don't know, bodies in the run is permanently hasted. Very reminiscent of the Wizard of Yendor in NetHack. If you ever got to the late game in NetHack, the Wizard of Yendor spawned every who knows how many floors, and was very insistent in trying to get the Amulet of Yendor from you. Good old days, good old days. I did that a fair amount of times. Um, but I wouldn't be able to do it now if I wouldn't be able to do it even if I tried. It's his amulet after all. I don't know. I think Yendor is probably like a place, and the Wizard of Yendor is like referring to Yendor. It's the Wizard of Yendor and the amulet of Yendor. So it's not. I would assume that it's not the amulet of the wizard, but more like the amulet of the place the wizard belongs to. But that's just my imagination. I actually don't know about NetHack lore. I'm not sure that NetHack has any lore whatsoever, to be completely honest. Um, okay, so we have Sojobo. Hmm. Sojobo is definitely not a fight that I want to take at any point in the game. Mm, I do not have File of Floods or Silence to make it so that Sojobo will not push me away. Some other elementals is extremely scary because they will paralyze me, and you know how devastating one turn paralysis effects can be. Um, yeah, that was, I think, the closest my Octopode came to dying. Wendigo just using Stunning Burst and paralyzing me for one turn. Mm, maybe I should use Immolation again. Sojobo would only get hit by one explosion right now, but chances are good that Sojobo is gonna walk towards me and get hit by more than one explosion by the time the explosions do happen. So I'm gonna use another Immolation. Okay, we have Sojobo right here. We're gonna do a bit of this. Likely to hurt you? I think not. But the explosions do hurt me somewhat. Sojobo does have fire resistance, so barely gets hurt by that. But the Tengu Reaver is almost dead and is gonna cause another explosion. Let's try that once again. Okay, Sojobo is heavily wounded. And we have the air elementals now. Stunning Burst. Fires a weak electrical burst which on impact causes very brief paralysis. It's crazy. I hope that things do not go bad even if I do get paralyzed for a turn. Theoretically, we should be okay because we are at pretty much full HP and we have 41 armor class, which is the resistance that doesn't get, or the defense that doesn't get removed when you get paralyzed. But we shall see what ends up happening. Maybe I should summon my own elementals. Okay, there's a paralysis. And I get stabbed by Sojobo. I lost so much HP from that single attack, pretty much. The Tengu Reaver the Tengu Reaver actually didn't do anything to me. All the damage that I took that turn was from a single attack by Sojobo. Well, I guess, and the Stunning Burst, because the Stunning Burst does deal electrical damage. Now I am resistant, but I didn't used to be. Mm. So I'm thinking that between Sojobo and the Reaver is way easier to kill, and therefore I should try to target the Reaver first to try to cause an explosion that hurts Sojobo. Also, I guess it's a pretty nice thing to do in general to try to kill. Did I get paralyzed again? Mm. No, I didn't. In general, it's just a nice thing to do to get rid of weaker monsters that apport large amounts of damage, such as a Tengu Reaver. Tengu Reavers are actually a pretty good example of that. They are kind of resilient themselves, but they have incredible damage output, so they can definitely exploit their longevity. If you don't kill them fast, they will do a number on you. 5 pips of piety. I guess it's reasonable. I did use a bunch of piety against Sojobo. I need to get rid of this Thunderhawk so I can try to kill the other one or reposition um, before I get hit by Call Down Lightning. I always thought that Call Down Lightning was just like Smite, and it hit you no matter what. But apparently it doesn't do that. Yeah, I really thought that it did that, but it doesn't apparently. You can dodge it with evasion. Of course, everyone knows that evasion is a placebo, and after playing that Octopode with 62 evasion that still got hit really hard, really frequently, I feel very justified in saying that evasion is a placebo. Like, nothing makes you think that evasion is a placebo more than playing a character that only has evasion really as a resistance or as a defense. Okay, this is a large amount of monsters that I would rather not fight all at the same time. Um, but unfortunately, there's not much that I can do. Okay. Okay, at least the Warlord is not mighty. I wonder how much damage I took during that fight. I think it would be very nice if the game gave you like a summary after you're done with a fight, but maybe that's just too advanced for the game to be able to generate. After all, the damage taken per turn or HP gained per turn thing is not like a thing that's part of the base game. We're gonna drink a 3 here. And I'm gonna use also attraction. The good old tomb strategy, the 3 tomb strategy to get rid of the curse skull. Okay, that's pretty rude. Please get rid of this flayed ghost. I wish I knew which one is the one that's playing me. Maybe if I kill one, regardless of which one flayed me, I would gain back all my flay HP. Okay, but fortunately there was no need for me to do that. We could just get rid of the Curse Skull the turn after and get rid of the Flayed Ghosts by extension. Palentonga roll is amazing against monsters with batty movement. I do not like those kinds of monsters, and Palentonga just makes it as easy as just roll towards them. And at this point in the game, with this amount of slaying, with this high quality weapon, my roll kinda just kills whatever I target with the roll. It's pretty neat. Oh, that's a lot of enchant weapon. I will be putting all of that on my Laja tank right now. Okay, looking for more. Looking for one more enchant weapon to have a +9 vampiric Laja tank. We got 2 scrolls of enchant weapon in this level. That's extremely neat. This Laja tank we found in the floor very early into the game as a +0 Laja tank, B5. And you know what I say, the only way for me to go for a two-handed weapon is if it's a crazy good early game two-handed weapon. And Laja tank on D5 is kind of that. So I decided to go for it. And so far I've been only very slightly disappointed. But it might have more to do with Qazlal and the fact that Qazlal doesn't really provide anything that I am too thrilled to have than the fact that threw away my shield for an extremely damaging vampiric weapon. The saga of this Lajatang is like so funny, so funny. Ooh, that's a lot of armor skill. Somehow we got to 17 armor. When I get a better body armor, we are gonna start seeing the fruits of that skill training. Fingers crossed for an early gold scales or maybe even crystal plate. I would have loved to get an ice cave and get a crystal plate of cold resistance out of an ice cave, but it didn't happen this time around. That is what I would call a pretty decent ring. Resist corrosion for armor class, fire resistance, resistance to negative. The ring gives me, unfortunately, fire resistance. If it was cold resistance, it would be kind of the perfect ring. Still, it is an amazing ring that I am very likely to buy and use right now. So let's put it on instead of the Ring of Evasion. I'm gonna nuke my evasion doing this. I wonder how low it's gonna go. Okay, I lost only 4 evasion. So those 4 dexterity that I just lost from switching rings is not really like doesn't seem to be a big of an issue. Oh wait, I messed up. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Aha. Okay, I lost 1 more point of evasion, but I gained a 4 armor class, and of course now I have 3 pips of fire resistance, and a pip of resistance to negative. That's gonna be nice for shadow dragons, that kind of thing. Rays were buffed recently. Rays? Rats. Ah, yeah. I see that I have been getting orange rats. Oh, I guess now they're called hell rats. In my times, they used to be called orange rats, and they used to be exactly the same, except that instead of being hell rats, they were orange rats. So yeah, they may be better. They may spawn more better rats, but they are still rats at the end of the day that happen to get killed by my Qazlal Cloud Aura. So I'm not too thrilled to use them, to be completely honest. Talking about things that I'm not too thrilled to be using, maybe I should be training more invocations. I disaster area'd recently against some spiders, and it didn't kill even the half of the spiders that I was fighting against. I just don't like disaster area, and I don't like Qazlal too much. And this playthrough hasn't really changed anything. I think if this character just didn't find the crazy loot that it has found so far, I would have probably died if I had if it hadn't been that case. Okay, let's do a bit of this. Let's turn that off. Let's turn this on. Because after all, I do want the Qazlal title. Okay. Hello? Did I not get resistance to electricity? I just got hit for 52 by electricity. Is my Qazlal broken? I have 3 armor class that I do not need, and I do not have resistance to electricity, which I do need. That's pretty unfortunate. Okay, I'm trying to bamp off the Thunderhawk. Okay, we killed one of the Thunderhawks. The other one is behind, just chilling, enjoying the fact that I cannot reach it and dealing massive damage. That one Thunderhawk on the back alone in this fight has already dealt 100 damage. If it was not for the fact that I have Vampiric, I would be in so much more trouble because alongside the 100 damage that I already took, I've been taking some small amounts of damage from the other monsters. And that kind of damage really piles up. So I'm not a fan of the current situation. I'm also not a fan of the current buff Thunderhawks. They're extremely dangerous now, I think. If you don't have the resistance, they are pretty awful, and they definitely love to chill behind monsters that you cannot really bypass. I guess I can throw a bunch of piety at the Thunderhawk to try to kill it before it kills me, because I can't quite run away from it. Okay. Thunderhawk is barely hurt by my repeated use of Upheaval. I wish it dealt more damage. I definitely do. Let me guess, more electricity damage. Okay, finally I got resistance to electricity. It only took 130 damage from electricity during this fight for Qazlal to be like, hey, maybe I should give this guy resistance to electricity so it doesn't die. Um, so we got it, and the Thunderhawk blinked into a position where I could roll at it. I rolled and it died, and that was it. But yeah, any fight where you cannot immediately kill the Thunderhawks now, it seems like a fight that you probably should try your best not to take. Um, okay. I think the repel missiles has been silently incredible. I have to say, I haven't really noticed it too much, but upon like really thinking about it, I have found that I don't think I have ever been in the history of this character in a single situation where I have been like, oh, that the Octor Captain just hit me for 50 damage in a single turn, right? And that has to be the result of resistance to, or not resistance to, repel missiles. Yeah, I think repel missiles is probably like a really good thing, especially now that it's so elusive. It used to be way more common when it was just a spell, but now it's either Qazlal or a Scarf of Repulsion. Mm. I wonder if a Scarf of Repulsion is worth it later in the game. I would assume that it also rejects things like Crystal Spears, that kind of thing. Mm. Okay, yeah. Thunderhawk, really, you cannot ignore it anymore. They used to be rather easy to just ignore. I mean, you always kind of wanted to have the resistance to electricity because after a certain point in the game, you kind of start seeing some really messed up electricity monsters that can easily kill you if you don't have the resistance. At least Qazlal has kind of taken care of me in that regard. Mm. I mean, sometimes it takes longer for Qazlal to actually wake up and give me the one resistance that I'm lacking instead of armor class. I mean, I guess all armor class is good. You cannot ever have enough armor class as opposed to evasion. Um, but I think resistance to electricity would probably do more than the 3 or so armor class that you get from. Oh, never mind. Oh, no, never mind. I thought that I got 10, but it was the Qazlal armor class plus me curling. Yeah, that's why I have 10 armor class. So after uncurling, I only have 3 armor class. I think it should be more, or Qazlal should just straight up not give you armor class, because 3 armor class feels kinda underwhelming compared to resistance to electricity if you don't have it. Um, but I don't know. What do you think about it? Especially, I'm interested in hearing from people that have gone Qazlal in the past. Um, yeah. What would I do to fix Qazlal or to make Qazlal better, theoretically? I think there's too much focus on elemental force, and there's not enough focus on upheaval and disaster area. I would like it if upheaval was more damaging at earlier levels of invocations. Like now, I have close to 20, and it doesn't feel that crazy. Let me tell you. Let's see. I just used it against these guys. It did do a bunch of damage. Okay, let's be fair here. That's a bunch of 3 exclamation symbols on deep trolls. Um, but I don't know. Little known fact: the song "Fix You" by Coldplay was about Qazlal. I don't know if the song predates Qazlal, but maybe it does predate Qazlal. um, so we are done with Bolts 4. I guess we can go to Swamp now. We're still on the lookout for resistance to electricity to be able to do Elf. Mm, I could also do depths, but no, that's dumb. Oh, no, no, no. Let's not go do depths. Let's go do swamp. Yes, because now I feel like I have pretty decent resistances for doing swamp. Another scarf. I already have a scarf of resistance, but I am interested in checking it regardless. It's a scarf of shadows. We're gonna leave it on the floor. Um, I think the shadows effect is not nearly as good as to be worth using a scarf instead of using a normal cloak or maybe even like a cloak of willpower or a cloak of cold resistance if you happen to find one of those, or a cloak of poison resistance or preservation. Those are also good cloaks that you could be using instead of a scarf of shadows. In general, I like having a lot of line of sight. Um, I I like Barachi, but I think I would like Barachi and I would play them a lot more if they were not slow. I think the slowness is what kind of ruins Barachi. Doesn't really ruin Barachi, but makes them significantly harder and more inconsistent when it comes to the early game. Um, okay, that's fine. Okay, with that, let's continue using Upheaval against these Spriggans because I'm not gonna even try to hit them, much less so over water. Cats should get negative line of sight. They really should. Like, if I don't like it, and I still think that cats should get negative line of sight, and I think so because they are extremely fragile against things that get many turns to attack them. Hello, Railbird. Good to see you around. Thank you for stopping by. Mm, we are playing a Palentonga of Qazlal, and I really want that title. I want the Rolling Thunder title. That's the only reason why I'm doing this, by the way, getting the Rolling Thunder title. We get paralyzed by a Hornet, but it was a very short paralysis, only 2 turns. The lucky kind of paralysis. We have an Hydra. We cannot really use a Laya tank for the Hydra. Railbird, can you stream and get affiliate so we can get a better copium emote to match Civ Copium? I don't know. I don't even know what the copium part of that emote is supposed to entail, to be completely honest. Um, I just oh yeah. I haven't talked about it, but or rather, I guess I haven't talked about it on this stream. But I want to play a Sif Muna melee character. And why, you may be asking, play a Sif Muna melee character? Like something, when I say melee character, I mean something with like 3 intelligence. So I can use, well, maybe not 3 intelligence, because it does require you to have kind of good intelligence to be able to use Divine Exogenesis. So my plan is compensate for the fact that Sivmuna kind of sucks for mages by having a character that's not really a spellcaster and pretty much Divine Exogenesis much more liberally than you would normally do because it costs such a ridiculously high amount of piety. Yeah, Divine Exogenesis into Wereblood, that's the genius move. Okay. Um, Yeah, I think that's gonna be my next character. I also kind of want to try Kobold of Wujian because reduced line of sight means that disaster area theoretically hits monsters for more explosions. I kind of want to try that as well. So those are things that I wouldn't normally play. But I still think of them as relatively strong, or at least strong enough to be worth attempting during a streak. Not like a cat or a stealth-based character. Oh, Enchant Armor, give me that. Okay, fully enchanted barding. You know, it's very funny because we found a Palentonga barding before we found an Octopode barding in my Octopode. I still cannot believe that I did 15 runes, or rather 14 runes. I guess I didn't do 15 runes on that character. 14 and a cigarette, and I didn't find a hat. Like, I read so many scrolls of acquirement with that character, and I did not find a hat. Um, Talking about acquirement, we have acquirement right now, and it offers me a bunch of trash and a good amount of gold. So I am very likely to just hold on to the acquirement for the gold, or rather, it's not trash. Let me properly analyze this scroll of acquirement. The manual saves doesn't really do anything for me anymore because I already have min delay on the Laya tank. The quarterstaff would have been decent in the early game. The strength -4 is not too exciting. The amulet is like the one thing that I would consider at this point in the game because of the 2 pips of fire resistance. However, my character already has 3 pips of fire resistance, so I do not need that, and my current amulet is pretty beast. It's very unlikely that I will find anything in this game or the next one that's as good as this amulet. This amulet is like really fantastic. That's the only way to put it. Like it's amazing of an amulet. Yeah, I like it too. I know that I enjoy having 2 different sources of willpower, and it also has regen and reslay. The dexterity +2 is like a nice added bonus, so I don't miss so many attacks. And I am very happy with my 16 dexterity, but for next level ups, for my level ups for the rest of the game, which is the one that I will get at 21 and I guess 27 if I get to that point, I'm gonna be getting some strength so I can properly use gold dragon scales. I need like 23 strength so I can wear gold dragon scales without nuking my evasion so poorly. Amulet of Demons is hard to improve on. Is it called the Amulet of Demons? Oh, it is the Amulet of Demons. I hadn't even noticed. But yeah, that is such a beast amulet. Ooh, a Wand of Acid. Nice. I like the change that made Eleonoma drop. Oh. I like the change that made Eleonoma drop once, because sometimes you get Wands of Acid, and that's pretty neat. Sometimes you get the good ones. Casually one-shots a Leonoma. How much HP do they have? They're not particularly like the paragons of tankiness, right? I guess we can find out. Hold on. Leonoma. 80? Wow, and I one-shot it. I guess this character is more powerful than I've been talking about. Yeah, that was good. I did one shot on the Leonoma and it has 80 HP. Yeah, that's like no small feat. I am very happy that I was able to do that with this character. I guess that's the power of 12 slaying and Palentonga rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Man, that character is pretty funny. If I played Schoolgirls, which I don't, I would definitely play that character with the mod that makes her say rolling all the time. It was an April's Fool's joke when the character was implemented. Like for the entirety of that day, she said rolling all the time. So I was thinking of wearing poison resistance, but then I remembered that thanks to the glory of Qazlal, I am immune to clouds. And let me tell you, that's like the most amazing thing for Qazlal, or when it comes to this character that Qazlal provides it with. The fact that I can just chill in clouds of poison and not have to worry about getting Omega poisoned. That removes the need for poison resistance when it comes to SOT, and that's something that I hadn't even thought about until I got hit by clouds of poison by these swamp dragons, because they do deal some small amount of poison damage on impact, but it's very negligible compared to the amount of poison that very quickly stacks up if you stand on these clouds of poison without the resistance. But yeah, do there used to be a scarf of cloud immunity or something weird like that, right? Am I misremembering something? Because I'm pretty sure there used to be something like that. I don't think I ever used it, but I always thought of it as somewhat convenient. I know that with a character without poison resistance going into SOT, I would love to use that specific item, but I may have imagined it. Maybe it was like an amulet or something. I have no idea. Regardless, I'm pretty sure it's not in the game anymore. Um, so we're gonna use simulation. Oh no, not that, not that. We're gonna use simulation. Aha. In case you were wondering why I have so many force mores on so many of my items, that would be why. Because I typo into the wrong item all the time. Okay, big explosions. Aha. I also got hit myself with upheaval, but that was the only way to guarantee that I was gonna hit the monsters that I wanted to hit. So I was okay with that. Okay. Get rid of the Hydra. Get rid of the Hornet. Switch to the Laja tank to heal a bit. Get rid of the Hydra. And I love being able to take this specific bolt in that way, because the fight is faster and safer, way safer than if you wait for them to disperse all over the level. Because if you do that and they disperse all over the level, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna kill an Hydra and it's gonna deal damage to you because you meleeed it, and then you're gonna see one at the edge of line of sight and rinse and repeat, right? And that is not the best thing in the world. This character definitely prefers to take the fight to the Hydras while they're all bunched up, so I could just read Immolation and then use one use of Upheaval, and that killed like almost the entirety of the vault. So yeah, that went great. This character prefers shorter fights like that. Um, Now, I guess we might be interested in doing slime. We even have resistance to corrosion, we have fire resistance, we have good armor class. We have so much slaying that it is cartoonish. Like, where did I get all that slaying from? When did that happen? That's the amount of slaying that I don't get on other characters. Like, I go through so many characters with very little slaying, and then there's this one character that gets all the slaying. Um, I think I had a character with 17 slaying before, but yeah, like sometimes I just get ridiculous amounts of slaying with my characters. Um, I think I'm gonna go do depths before, in case we get like a treasure trove, so I know what to look for in slime. I can always backtrack; it's not really like an issue. Um, but yeah, just to know, maybe it is a trove that offers me acquirement, and I read the acquirement that I am carrying, as it happened the other day. In case you remember, in case you were here, I think Particle Phase was here and said, I hear a lot of people do that, but I think it's the first time that I've ever seen it pay off. Um, okay, strength. Alrighty. We should be fine when it comes to all of these monsters. Well, except maybe the Lich. But monsters that hit me with elemental damage outside of electricity, we should be fine. Okay, get rid of the Lich. I'm not liking this, by the way. I feel like this situation can very quickly spiral out of control, because I'm fighting in front of what's obviously like a very nasty vault. So I am kind of relying here to just get rid of the Lich, maybe get rid of the Stone Giant, and then make a run for it. Um, I can take a couple of hits from a red very ugly thing, and the Ice Dragon will be more damaging, but I cannot run away with these two in my line of sight. And the one that I need to kill first is the Lich easily, because the Lich can explode me somewhat. 3 dice of 29 Bolt of Cold is not good. For comparison, the Ice Dragon only does 3 dice of 24. And I only have 1 pip of cold resistance. Also, if I try to run away from it, it's just gonna shoot an orb of destruction at me, and I cannot dodge that or block that because I only have the Qazlal shield, so there's that. We get rid of the Lich, fortunately. In the next 2 attacks, 2 of them hit, and they hit really hard, so we get rid of the Lich. And my plans to run away kinda die as I encounter a Deep Troll Earth Mage. that funny thing. It does a rather unique thing in this game, and that is target the player through a wall. Very few monsters do that, and the monsters that do are monsters that also dig. So yeah, only monsters that can dig do target the player through walls. It's very nice compared to like Rift Wizard, where um, there's certain monsters that have damaging attacks that can hit the player through walls. So if you're within the range of the monster, you cannot like prevent them from doing that, unless you have a way to blind them. But yeah, blinding is like very specific and very frequently doesn't deal damage in Rift Wizard. Mm, yeah. I think I like Rift Wizard a lot. Sorry for talking about it if you're not really interested in that game, but I just have been having a blast with Rift Wizard. Yeah, I decided there that enough was enough. I went for Disaster Area, killed one Earth Mage. Let me kill the other one so I can actually run away. 50 armor class. Okay, I don't think it does too much for me, but yeah, the issue here is that we're fighting in front of what's obviously an awful vault. If it was not for the fact that I just keep getting endlessly thrown rather dangerous monsters, I would have been done with that level already, or with this level already, because this character is in that kind of power level. Okay, goodbye Earth Mage. Qazlal gives me cold resistance, that's convenient. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not so okay with it because I'm at rather low HP now, and I still have a Lich that's probably here, walking towards me. Let's see, I have 7 blinking. I can always make a getaway. I'm gonna melee once, and if I gain HP, I might continue fighting. If I lose HP, on the other hand, I will immediately blink. Okay, I gained 1, but that is not what I meant. Okay, so what happens here is Bolt of Cold, Bolt of Cold, Bolt of Cold. They hit for 3 dice of 29, 3 dice of 24. Let's say that they all 3 hit me for 20, and then I am in trouble because I would theoretically be at 2 HP, and I kinda don't want that. So I'm gonna blink away, just like to exercise caution. Obviously, that's a fight that it went for long enough for me to be able to properly handle, and let's just be safe. Don't die and you should be fine. Yes, indeed, don't die and you should be fine. So I proceeded to not die, and everything was fine. You know what they say, discretion is the best part of valor. I wouldn't say it like that. I would say something along the lines of discretion is the most important part of valor. But the sentiment still remains the same, I think. Upheaval? This has, yeah, upheaval there. I wonder if it hits the Lich. That looks like that looked to me like it did hit the Lich. Okay, so it dealt a bunch of damage to the Lich. Now we only had to train invocations to 22, and it started dealing good damage. How many times have I used Elemental Force so far? We can tell very easily by doing this. Okay, we're gonna click on that. Then we're gonna Control F for Elemental Force. And the game is gonna tell me that I have used it a total of 7 times. Yes, I have used Upheaval 65 times and Disaster Area twice. So that's your answer. 7 times in this game. And let me tell you that most of them have been very underwhelming. There was this one time, however, where I used it against Luis and Luis died in like 2 turns. And that was quite good. Use Elemental Force way more. Against what? You have probably played more Qazlal than me because I don't enjoy it, and it seems like you do enjoy it. So I would like to know in which kind of situation you choose to go for Elemental Force. You can cast it 2 or 3 times in a row. That sounds extremely mana intensive. I don't know. Maybe it's like player mentality, but I would prefer to use all that piety into using dispersal area, or not dispersal area. What is it called? Um, Disaster area. That's what it's called. Disaster area. Even if disaster area ends up killing less monsters, I don't know. I kind of like the flashy effect of disaster area a bit more than I like just having 20 elementals or something. Um, okay, there we go. Let's use upheaval against that sorcerer. Stone giant is almost dead. Okay, don't do anything bad against me, Mr. Sorcerer. There we go, thank you. Wait around the corner. Melee the Fire Dragon. Yeah, I think this character is being carried by Vampiric somewhat. What else are you using mana on? It's a small piety cost. It is moderate. I think it recently got its mana cost increased, but I don't know. What else am I using mana on? Not really using a lot of mana. I was talking more about the piety cost than the mana cost. You know what they say, beware the piety cost. Except that whenever you read it in the Learn database, it's mostly like a satirical usage of that phrase. A kind of mocking of people that says so seriously. But I do think that the mana cost or the piety cost is rather important. Um, I'm using my piety mostly on upheaval. But yeah, whenever I get into a fight against, like, say, if I found Tiamat in Sot, I would try to use Immolation, upheaval, and then elemental force. Maybe even 2 or 3 elemental forces to try to get rid of Tiamat. But against a bunch of monsters like the ones that I have been fighting, I don't think I would like to, or even think about using elemental force. Um, ouch, ouch. Okay, I prefer those over the crystal spears, not gonna lie. Yep, because I do have acid resistance. The crystal spears can hit for more regardless, so acid resistance or no acid resistance, I think I would prefer to get hit by acid before getting hit by a crystal spear. So yeah, rather nasty bolt with a bunch of end game monsters, and it was in depth 1. Let's get rid of these boomerangs. Let's also get rid of the Wand of Flame, and let's make sure that I do not pick it up again. Also, Amnesia can go. Identify can definitely go. We are at a point in the game where I have pretty much nothing left to identify. So we can definitely pick up a file of plots and a scroll summoning. You used to hit elemental force every time there was a group fight. What would you define as a group fight? Is it like just an encounter with a band, like 6 ugly things come into view, or is it more than one band? Because I would maybe think about using it if I saw more than one band. Ah! I knew there was something funny with that Frost Giant. I knew there was something funny. I saw a Frost Giant comes into view, it is, and then text. And I didn't even see that it was using the Dark Mole. Okay, no wonder I just got hit by 52. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I'm the main character now. Yeah, let's try to not die to the main character. Unfortunately, this is post monster weapon attack delay changes Frost Giant with Dark Mole, so we know that it's not gonna be slow when attacking. About 73% chance to hit you. Dude, this guy hits as hard as a Juggernaut without being slow like a Juggernaut. That's not funny. I guess it's kind of funny. But it's not funny when you're in the receiving end. You know what's also not funny? The Storm Giant, because I do not have the resistance yet. And Qazlal is kind of oblivious when it comes to giving me the resistance. So I want to run away from the Frost Giant with Dark Mole. I definitely don't think that I can fight it in an honest fight, just like pressing Tab. I will have to use Upheaval. Maybe, that's definitely a case where I would not be opposed to using Elemental Force against that guy. You mostly appreciate Qazlal for the passive things. I don't. I don't. I like the repel missiles. Don't misunderstand me. I think that that is by far the most impactful part of playing Qazlal, the repel missiles. But the resistances, I wish you could set one resistance. I wish it was like Ash and Sari, where you got like at 6 pips of piety. Let's say that Castle gives you one resistance permanently. That would be cool, I think, instead of the adaptability that Qazlal currently offers. I think it wouldn't be so flavorful for the god because Qazlal is rather chaotic in nature. It is very unlikely that something like that would ever be implemented, but that would be more desirable to me as a player. Because in this character, for example, I would have the resistance to electricity every time, which is the thing that I want from Qazlal. I literally couldn't care about getting more fire resistance or more cold resistance or poison resistance. I want the resistance to electricity, and I don't get it. The clouds just make things die so fast. They do, including your own allies. So I'm not too thrilled by those, to be completely honest. Like, for example, okay, I think something extremely funny there happened there. Oh, never mind. Never mind, it didn't happen. I thought that the Sphinx had gotten shafted and I had gotten teleported, but no, I got shafted. Um, yeah, regardless, the cloud kind of makes you not be able to have allies. Like this character has the cloak of the rat skin cloak. That's what it's called. And I cannot really use it because of Qazlal clouds. Like I put it on and the clouds just like murder the rats immediately. Also, I don't particularly care too much about using it, to be completely honest, because I have Scarf of Resistance, and on this specific character, I think I value the cold resistance that the Scarf offers me a bit more than the rats and the poison resistance and the resistance negative that comes from the rat skin cloak. Um, Talking about that, I would 100% my current Scarf of Resistance with a Cloak of Cold Resistance if it happens to generate, which it can't. I'm pretty sure it cannot generate of outside of an ice cave. Um, so yeah, in my opinion, if I think cloaks of cold resistance that generate in ice caves should just generate as randards, like guaranteed randard with cold resistance and +2, and maybe other things. That would make it more special, I think. It would be exciting for you to go into an ice cave and get your brand new shiny randard. Which orbs are we pondering? Have you talked about orbs yet? No, no orbs. No orb talking. Um, I think I saw something on the roguelikes Discord about orbs, but it was I thought that there were those were people memeing about the meme where the wizard is pondering the orb, right? Um, I didn't think that it was something that was actually gonna get added to crawl, so I actually have no idea about anything orb related. I hope that it is exciting because I'm always up for new and nice things. It is an offhand shield replacement for mages, so mages can ponder their orbs. That's great. I love it. You ponder the orb flavor message when you step on its tile. Will it give shield? Something makes me think that it will not give shield. It sounds to me like it can be an offhand enhancer or like dual wielding, except that it's obviously not a weapon, and you cannot really hit monsters with an orb. But it probably is like wizardry, archmagi, that kind of thing, like a talisman. Yes, like just a trinket to hold to make you feel better about yourself. Uh, I guess that's kind of evasion. Um, Wizard archmagi, you guess, and remove the ring's rove. Do we know anything about how orbs are going to be in the game? Or is it just like speculation? Why? Why? Okay, so you saw that one turn earlier there were zero of these, and now all of a sudden we have five. When the monster spell tells me that it summons two, that doesn't sound right. Something makes me think that these guys are kind of bugged. Maybe I should make a bug report when it comes to these guys because Yeah, it summoned. It was at 0 living spells, and now it's at 5. So unless something funny happened, it summoned 5 living spells in a single turn. Elemental Force to bait them. I could also upheaval to just kill them altogether, because since the last time that one of these crystal spells killed me, they lost almost all of their HP and all of their armor class. So now they're really easy to kill, and that's the way that they should have been in the first place. But at least we caught it before it made it into stable. Okay, so yeah, fortunately Upheaval does give me a very clean answer to these crystal tomes. Big damage. Oh, okay, Shaper got me a link. Let's take a look at that. Work in progress feat. Chill lo-fi orbs to ponder crawl with. I saw the comment. I saw the comment. 3D 4D is still scary no matter how fragile they are. Um, Nah, it's not really that much of an issue, to be completely fair, because this guy can summon them, and as long as you can kill them the turn they're summoned, and kill them pretty much means target them with Ice Blast. If you can target them with Ice Blast, you can prevent yourself from being hit by 3 dice of 40. Now, they do need to be within range of the spell to be able to cast it. So the ones that were far away, we would not have been able to cast it, but I didn't want to play any games with them, to be completely honest. I didn't want to give them any turns to get closer to me to try to hit me like that. Um, Steer to shields through a confluence of factors. Cheap one-handers, demon weapons, and short blades that can be amplified with magic. Can be amplified with magic? I wonder what that means, because weapon amplifications are not really a thing that exists in Crawl anymore, apart from um, Excruciating Wounds, I think it's called, the spell that pain brands something temporarily. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone use that, to be completely honest. Um, we'll introduce Orb Egos. Currently, Archmage is a placeholder, but will not be on the final list. Interesting. I wonder what the orbs could have. I would be interested in seeing maybe an Orb of Wukathmu to like to make it a little nod at the old Orb of Power, I think it was called. Crystal Ball of Energy. That's the name. That's the name. Crystal Ball of Energy. It was an evocable. It was not an experience evocable. You could literally spam it. That gave you either a bunch of mana or took a bunch of mana from you, and it was likely to just reduce your mana at low amounts of mana and give you more mana at high mana amounts. Yeah, that thing used to be in the game. It eventually got removed. Other things that also used to exist, other crystal balls that used to exist in the game were the crystal ball. There was one, I don't remember what it's called, but it used to do magic mapping. This was Old Crawl, by the way. Old Crawl, where that kind of premium effect was just like okay to have around and have as a repeatable option for every character. Um, the wild, wild west of Crawl. Still less wild than NetHack, than current NetHack. Ouch. Okay. I'm okay with that because I have 3 pips of their resistance. I'm just gonna wait for you to get over here. And I'm gonna poke you for healing. Okay, that's more like it. We gained 30 HP from killing that fire giant. Pretty good. Okay. I wonder what was on the other side of here, because we fought through what was very obviously the entirety of a bolt. So let's see what's on the other side. Also, now I'm wondering if with Qazlal you can hurt monsters that are outside your line of sight. I think you can, but I mean more like if I target this here, will it hurt the monsters that are theoretically within the blast range but not visible? I have no idea. Um, no idea. Mm, mm, I wonder what else this bolt is gonna have. We did end up fighting the entirety of the bolt at the same time, but this time we're powerful enough to be able to survive that kind of thing. Or maybe it was just the fact that we got an easier bolt to survive. Um, so yeah, orbs. Orbs. I still think that regardless of what orbs end up being, they would be something that I would not like to use on most of my characters because I do like using my shields. Maybe if an orb gives you the defensive capabilities of a shield in a more interesting way, maybe I would consider using them. But if it only is meant to enhance your offensive or do something like give you mana, I don't think I would be too interested in using them. Um, you're not convinced by orbs since you think since they require no skill they will always be replaced late game by shields, and late game mages can usually kill things fine. Survivability is a problem. Glances at your recent record. Kind of. You could make the argument that a powerful enough mage doesn't really need much when it comes to defenses, because very high level powerful magic kills things fast enough than those hypothetical things can kill you. Oh, round 2 against bodies apparently. Elemental force? Yeah, let's use an elemental force. Okay, we got a million earth elementals because we just rolled with the Palentonga. I would like my guys to fight bodies because the iron trolls are a bit of a joke compared to bodies. Okay. I'm just waiting for bodies to get paralyzed, by the way. Is bodies immune to the paralysis? No idea. Bodies does say that it's resistant to electricity, but resistance to electricity doesn't prevent that paralysis. Okay, well, that was a pretty underwhelming use of elemental force, not gonna lie. I guess I'm gonna have to do it again. Oh wow, I got 2 monsters. I have 25 invocations. Oh, I got 3 monsters. Never mind. There's that one over there. But still, I got 25.6 invocations and I only got 3 elementals. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that I do not like Qazlal very much. And maybe it is fine and I'm just complaining because I don't like the god very much. I do like some things that Qazlal offers, but as a whole, there's just like better things or better gods to be able to win the game. Also, that was mad weird. There was a living spell right here, a smite living spell that didn't suicide itself on me. Maybe they're bugged and they don't cast themselves. I don't know. I'm gonna wait until I see another living tome to make an assumption, but that was weird. Which combo do you splat all ninth tonight? That's a very good question. I would say go with whatever chat tells you. I think my recommendations are not good for dying. If you want to die, I guess maybe a cat. But yeah, maybe try not to die as well. That would be what I would try to do personally. We got Frederick. Frederick is dangerous, but also susceptible to getting warlocked, so I warlock Frederick, and Frederick proceeds to die. There we go. Okay, what do you have? 47 damage plus anti-magic. Healer Berserker. We can probably get rid of all these guys using good old immolation, which we have 5 of. So I guess I'm gonna open the door. Wait for maybe walk away so like they bunch up around the ghost. That seems good enough. Now we're gonna use immolation. Then upheaval. I take some damage from the upheaval, and the ghost is in the process of dying. Yes, severely damaged. Yes, There we go. Okay, easy peasy. Now, I wonder what we got from that other than loot. Ooh, it was a double. Okay, I am interested. Sapphire ring. Mm, there is a golden dragon. I do want gold scales. Maybe I would be more interested in storm scales. Yeah, storm scales are definitely the thing that I actually want. I don't think I care too much about gold scales. Kaz is not the strongest god. They just make you a faster killing machine. I think, yeah, I also like see that, but I at the same time think that other gods make you into a faster killing machine in a more convenient way. For example, Okawaru and Ashensari, I feel fulfill that role perfectly. Also, mm, maybe Trog a bit. You could make the argument for Trog. Dehumet for sure. Mm, Gosak somewhat. You could say that maybe Gosak makes you like I also like gods that passively make you more powerful, but I think that Qazlal's whole gimmick of making you make a bunch of noise is a very significant downside for the benefits that Qazlal offers. We finally found a tin of tremor stones. I will for sure be carrying that. Let me drop this acquirement. Shock feels pretty good. Shock is pretty good. Do you know that you can multi sap monsters with shock? So if you have ever played with lightning bolt, you know that you can target a monster with lightning bolt, and you can hit the same monster twice with the same spell, right? Just like monsters do to you every now and then. Shock is exactly the same. So you can not only use it to hit many monsters at the same time, you can also use it um, to hit one monster multiple times. I like Shock a lot. It has some very noticeable downsides, unfortunately. Most importantly, the fact that it checks armor class, even if it's only partially, and evasion, and yeah, those two things are not as good um, compared to other level 1 spells. For example, Freeze ignores all of that. But I would say that all of them have their own strengths and weaknesses, and you kind of have to adapt to their strengths and weaknesses. Mm, okay, of course it hits me instead of this deep troll. I'm fine with that. Um, the Enchantress. Wow, those are some beast fairy skills. Harm, slow, resistance to corrosion, 10 intelligence. Um, 10 intelligence and harm is like an amazing combo. Um, so we don't really want much to do with the Enchantress, not gonna lie. Okay, one of these guys is mighty. Oh, the two of them are mighty. That's not good. In that case, I think I have to get rid of them before bad things happen. Oh, you have a Tank of Distortion. Well, that is delightful. If I could blink, I guess I can try. No, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail. I'm gonna try it. You miscast blink. Okay, yeah, I knew it was gonna fail. I'm not gonna do it again. If I had blink, I would definitely blink here. Normal blink. This is not the kind of situation where I would like to use a scroll of blinking to save myself from impending doom. But yeah, the Spriggan Defender within melee range is extremely awful. It is annoying more than dangerous. Yeah, Beast shouldn't be too bad for me if I do get vanished. Okay, with that deep troll out of the way, we can probably use Ice Blast to get rid of these Spriggan and then kill the shaman. Oh, or the Spriggan can blink me away and I can just get rid of it using upheaval. Reasons to not use distortion, illustrated by monsters. Being loud in hell will be fun. I don't think we are gonna be doing extended, but yeah, that would be funny. Out distorted. Okay, I got math poisoned by one of these Spriggans because they have because one of it has venom. Oh, the Enchantress has a quick blade of distortion. I didn't even notice. But yeah, that's not good. I kind of want to do disaster area, but I know that I'm gonna be disappointed by it, so I'm not gonna do it. Instead of that, I'm gonna read Immolation, hope that I do not get banished. I didn't get banished. I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to use. I can either Tin of Tremor Stones or Disaster Area, but because everyone is so close to me, I don't think Tin of Tremor Stones would do a lot. So let's just go for Disaster Area. Aha. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so many wasted explosions. I think this is the first time that I use 27 invocations in this playthrough. I mean, after all, I just got 27 invocations, and by extension, my amazing title, the sole reason why I chose to do this. And I completely forgot that this level has a Wizlav. I am going to read magic mapping so I can reach the Wizlav. This is an entrance to hell. This is the entrance to Sot. This has to be another random portal. Maybe the entrance to Abyss. This has to be the Wizlav. I am pretty sure that's the Wizlav. It's unfortunately on the other side of the level. The level being depths 4, I am going to have to fight many things to get to there. I guess I can check the loot that I just got later. Yeah, that's the Wizlav for sure. Okay, let me tell you that 27 invocations of Hebel, it is not terrible. I mean, it doesn't one-shot anything, and it also doesn't hit the entirety of the area that is available for targeting. But I know that that is like it is like that because of flavor reasons. It doesn't resonate with me too much. I would prefer to see more consistency when it comes to that. But I'm also fine with it, I think, because it does deal a huge chunk of undodgeable damage, and that is a very convenient thing to have access to. Okay, this character, it deals so much melee damage, I cannot believe it. How bad is the spider form? It is kinda bad. I mean, it can definitely get you past the early game, because at the end of the day, Spider Form does give you Poison Melee, and Poison Melee is really good for the early stages of the game. But it is not like, oh yeah, let me go do SOT 5 with Spider Form. No, you can. It's not that kind of form. But it is okay for the early game. There's very few things in the game as a whole that are like, oh yeah, don't use that because that's bad. I may say, don't use stealth or hexes because they're bad, but it's more like that kind of thing doesn't resonate with my playstyle. That is probably the more correct way to put it when I say that. Okay, we got Borg's mausoleum. Interesting. I wonder. I guess there's not that many named necromancers in Kroll lore. There's Borg and there's Doroklohe. Oh, and there's also Songuldrok. So no, I was thinking maybe there's not that many necromancers, but it's the opposite. There's too many necromancers. I think I remember this Wizlav. This Wizlav is where lost souls just spawn out of nowhere. Not too much of a fan of it. It's kind of dangerous. It's not as dangerous as Wukat's Moose Monastery, where you just like constantly get pummeled by monks that hurt a lot. Lost Soul Wizlavs. Spider form is not so bad for skip. It is not. It's no longer faster than the speed of 10. It has not been that way for quite a while, actually, for like several versions. Yeah, I actually cannot remember last time that it was like that. Wow, seriously? 54? Oh, it was not 54 from the Bolt of Draining. It was 54 because of the Flayed Ghost. Yeah, it hasn't been like that for a while. Um, Ouch. Stop doing that. You need to die this turn. In fact, you need to die so much that I'm gonna use a Scroll of Holy Word because that's the best way to hurt things in here. Wait, what? What happened there? I used a Scroll of Holy Word, right? Oh, something sacrifices itself to reknit the Flame Ghost. That's whack. I feel like I feel like that shouldn't be a thing that can happen. I think lost souls, you need to be able to see them to so they can revive monsters. That's so lame. So I could blink, or I could drink a potion of cancellation, and that gives me back all my HP. Um, Regardless, this doesn't feel so good. Yeah, stupid Flayed Ghost got healed to full HP by something that I didn't know was outside my line of sight. That's so lame. Disaster area, yeah, disaster area could be okay here. Kind of unreliable, but it could be fine. I'm gonna do it. No, am I going to do disaster area? How do I die if I do disaster area? This guy can iron shot me for up to 75, 78, I think. That's what it was. I'm slow. Yeah, that's too. If I drink cancellation, it does get rid of the slow. I think I should drink cancellation because it gets rid of the slow. That's my last one. I'm okay. Okay, of course I become immediately re-slowed. Um, I'm fighting against monsters with slow melee. It's just how it is. I don't have a shield or evasion. Now disaster area. Okay, we do kill the Flayed Ghost, and we also lost the ability to disaster area. Qazlal abilities are so expensive. They are pretty absurdly expensive in my opinion. How did that Eidolon survive? Disaster area is not as good as you think it is. I have 27 invocations. The Eidolon got hit by disaster area and it didn't die. I don't know. I feel like there's so many other gods that properly reward you for having 27 invocations, and then there's Qazlal. Disaster area is very expensive. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I cannot even. I can't even. I can even check it. I guess I'll just wait a bit. Okay, 4 Halasid Warlocks. These used to spawn in the Desolation Assault. Now they no longer do. Um, Costly Sacrifice. What does that do? Blast of negative energy, draining any living creature it engulfs. I wish it showed you how much damage it deals, but it doesn't. Must be like a draining fireball. So what I'm gonna do here is use Immolation. They don't spawn any there anymore. Since when? Probably since this one was implemented. But I can tell you for sure because I was there recently and I checked, and there were none. Okay, big explosions. I find it funny that these are not immune to willpower-based effects because they have the same glyph as a leech. Okay, yes, 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 yes. Immediate lost souls. Okay, that's pretty funny. Wow, that was a lot of spam. So what happened there was that for some reason the Wizlab went crazy with generating lost souls, and they were like reviving things that got killed the same turn they got generated. That's pretty funny. Okay, so I guess that explains how these guys are like back at full HP. Um, which Wizlab is this? Borg's Mausoleum. That's what it's called, Borg's Mausoleum. Okay, pretty scary Wizlab, I have to say. Definitely very dangerous. Okay. Fortunately, we end up emerging victorious. We get the Scepter of Torment. That's a very spicy thing to have. Um, I'm gonna carry it just because it is a rare item and I like it. But I think it's extremely unlikely that I'm gonna use it. Oh yeah, do you remember last time I did this? It was with a Heal Orc. It was like a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. And I got a Vampiric Executioner Sax here. I got a Vampiric Executioner Sax. I thought that maybe this bolt guaranteed a vampiric version of your weapon because I got a vampiric executioner sax as a heal orc, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It for sure guarantees vampiric. As you can see, we are leaving behind 3 vampiric weapons. Um, Scepter plus Manifold sounds funny. I don't know if it works, but if it worked, it would be funny indeed. Wow, that lost soul really is refusing to die. Yeah, I missed it 3 times in a row. Crazy. Okay. Well, that was it for this Wizlav. I have to say that it's very dangerous and it kind of forces you to use some consumables. So I'm not too sure that I like doing that particular Wizlav. Needs to do Manifold on that 50 damage mace you have. Yes, Manifold Dark Maul with Okawaru, so you can actually swing it kinda reasonably. Sounds pretty crazy good. I've also wanted to do that, but the stars need to align. You need to be an Okawaru character, you need to want to use Manifold Assault, and you need to get the Dark Maul. So it's almost impossible. I would say that it's even almost impossible to even force, because the Dark Maul is like such a rare item. Okay, I hope that these Storm Dragons have scales for me. Oh, I guess there's only one. Okay, big damage. More big damage. 3 pips of piety. You remember like 2 floors ago when I had 6 pips of piety with Qazlal? That's crazy. Like this is pretty unreasonable. Qazlal abilities are too expensive for what they do. And I feel completely justified saying that because I have 27 invocations. I feel like they cost way too much for what they do, piety wise. No. Wait. Scales. I see no storm scales. Tragic. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. It's not like I'm hoarding scrolls of Enchant Armor. All the scrolls of Enchant Armor that I had, I put on my Barding. By the way, have we found any more Bardings? No, only Bardishes. Qazlal is a fun challenge, but you think he's a bit below average. Yeah, I think it literally makes your character into a weaker character. That's my evaluation of Qazlal as it is right now. I cannot imagine how bad it has to be if you're like an Octopod or something. Um, Octopod is already not the tankiest thing of them all. This is a character with 41 armor class I'm sorry, and a vampiric Laya tank that still has issues surviving fights with Qazlal on the regular because the fights just go long enough. Reminder that some people play Qazlal Cat. Yes, I don't know how they do it. That requires a level of patience that I just don't have for almost anything. Um, okay, this green very ugly thing is being rather dangerous, believe it or not, because I do not have the poison resistance and I might not get it in the entirety of this playthrough. Okay. Why not pinball between the Reaver and the Sphinx? I could have done that. I just wanted to kill the Sphinx because Sphinx's might can get quickly out of hand. You didn't use a single god ability that win? Seriously, that's crazy. Going Qazlal and not using Qazlal abilities. I don't get it because the whole point of Qazlal is that is so kind of like an invocations heavy god. Um, and yeah, I think that Qazlal could be more like Nemelex. Nemelex is an example of a god that if you train invocations with the god will win you the game pretty much. Qazlal, you can train invocations to 27, and the abilities just cost way too much for you to be able to constantly use them. Last game I also got this bolt, and this bolt also plays the Necronomicon. I wonder if it's guaranteed now or something. It shouldn't be the case if it is. Why guarantee specifically a Necronomicon? No Flame Acolyte win, I mean? Oh, for Ignis. Oh, you won your Octopode Cinder Acolyte yesterday, and you didn't use a single ability? That's weird. Because the whole point of Ignis is to use the piety that you start the game with as a very strong early game consumable to survive the early game. Um, I would assume that an Octopod would be especially happy to have something like fiery armor to kind of have some armor class to survive the early game. I know that on my Ignis characters, I've been using that to survive D1 and D2. Um, Also, Foxfire Swarm is amazing. And the Shaft ability, like, I have no complaints about Ignis. All the abilities of Ignis are super good. Um, you found Kase easier than Nemelex. Seriously, that's crazy. I don't know why, because Nemelex doesn't force you into fighting the entirety of the level. I guess Qazlal also kind of doesn't do that anymore. It only does so, for example, on Spider. That's where I noticed that I was literally fighting the entirety of the level at the same time the most. In these levels, it hasn't been so bad. Not even in the level where I went downstairs and I immediately saw the Enchantress band, which is Depths 4. Mm, let's drop that. And let's get a third rune. Um, this is Slime. I might get the Bolt 5 rune, but it's extremely unlikely that I do. Because, of course, Qazlal would aggravate the entirety of the level. It's like being permanently marked in Bolt 5. Not the best thing. You think Nemelex is very good mid game, but not great in Sword Extended? I have a Nemelex extended win where Nemelex was like consistently saving me. Hey Mekire, thank you for stopping by. Long time no see. Good to see you around. Oh, do you have is that your animated emote? Roll Rage. Yeah, I can't believe it. I want my animated emotes. I've been waiting for them. The moment that they announced them in January, I was like, I need that. And it's December, and they said that I was gonna get them in December, and I'm still waiting. I even got a notice in the emotes page for an affiliate that said your animated emotes are coming soon, and I took very much care to not close or to not dismiss that notification, and I'm still waiting for my animated emotes. Wow, these rock slimes are destroying me. That's crazy. You do not have cold resistance, so I guess I kind of want to Ice Blast. Let's Ice Blast. Okay, we killed the rock slime, but yeah, like those rock slimes pinballed me from here to here. I didn't move away. I think I rolled once, and that's it. And I still got pinballed so far away. That's not good. They didn't even give you one slot. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm waiting. I know that you get 5 animated emote slots when you have all the subscriber goals for your emotes, which I do. Um, the highest that I've ever gone naturally has been like 30 something, but I just took the chance and I put myself at 50, gifting myself some subscriptions a couple of months ago, almost half a year ago, because I wanted all the emote slots. Um, but yeah, I'm still waiting. You only have one slot for animated, Maybe you need to get more subscribers and stuff to unlock more. I don't know how that works, but I know that you do get 5 emote slots for animated. Damn, Akire. Mm, okay, let's just get rid of that shining eye with upheaval. I have to upheaval multiple times. It's a shining eye. It has like no armor class and only 55 HP. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. Single usage of upheaval kills that shining eye. Pretty good. Enormous slime creature. Let's charm it. Resists with some effort. Okay. Titanic slime creature. Okay, I would like to not get one shot by that. That would be most convenient. Please get charmed. Okay, of course it resists. At this point, I am going to start playing like I normally play, which is pretend that hexes don't exist. So I'm just gonna try to walk away from it. I cannot reliably run away from them because of the pondering that I'm still using. I found it so early in the game, and I haven't found anything better to replace it with. D8, and I've been rolling around with that for so long. If you remove this armor, your armor class would decrease by 19. It's okay. The Titanic Slime creature is next to me. That's not nice. It's gonna hit me. Qazlal in Slime seems terrifying. The alternative is Qazlal in Bolts 5 or Qazlal in the Abyss, and all three of them kinda don't sound ideal. Maybe Qazlal in the Abyss wouldn't be as bad. But Qazlal in Bolts 5, like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, pretty good. Large slime creature, very large. Did they split before I blinked? Probably. At least these don't push you into or outside of the stairs, so I can kind of safely fight here. There's so many slime creatures. Okay, so at least unlike with the octopus that I played yesterday, I can use Tin of Tremor Stones without losing like 50% of my HP, and that's pretty neat. You think you favor Abyss for a castle third rune, but you stay away from castle in general? Yeah, me too. I just wanted to play a Qazlal Palentonga because you get a special title. You get Rolling Thunder for 27 invocations with Qazlal, so here we are. Now all I have to do is to not die, and I will probably not play a castle character for another 3 months or so. Maybe after this character, I should play an MLX character to showcase like the difference between what I consider to be a bad invocations heavy god and a good invocations heavy god. Nemlex really is like insane. It is on another league. Elemental Force doesn't begin to compare to just deal 4 deck of summonings. Deal 4 deck of summonings will win you every fight in the game. Well, almost every fight in a 3-rune game. In fact, I would say rather confidently that it can win you every fight in a 3-rune game. Deal 4 summonings. Maybe 2 times in like SOT 5 or Balls 5. And the double elemental force, no. Like, to begin with, the amount of monsters that I get from elemental force is like the same amount that I would get from a single use of a summons card, and the summons card doesn't cost any piety at all. It costs 0 piety, and Qazlal Elemental Force does cost piety. Very clearly exemplified by my 3 pips of piety with Qazlal. I was gonna go upstairs, but no, of course we're not gonna do that. That would be a waste of piety. Immolation. Aha, big explosions. I am surrounded. I need some explosions to happen right about now. I'm okay with being surrounded because I have 3 pips of fire resistance. And also Qazlal, so at least the clouds will literally not hurt me. But yeah, I need some explosions to happen soon. Okay, enormous slime creature. I don't know. I want to charm it, but it's so trash to have a 50% chance to succeed at that. Maybe it's my fault. I thought that I had more evocations than 7. Let's make that happen. For Sot at least. Hmm. Hmm. This is definitely the opposite kind of character for a fight like this. Like I have no shield, I have no evasion. I only have armor class, and I'm like surrounded by 7 dangerous monsters. Yeah, it's really not going well. I cannot even read scrolls. Okay, at this point, I am actually um, scared because I cannot read scrolls and I cannot move away from the Quicksilver ooze. I don't even know which one is engulfing me. It doesn't tell me. Yeah, I thought that if I hovered over it, it would tell me which one is engulfing me, but cannot move, cannot read scrolls. This is officially a really bad situation. Need Fan of Gales? Need Fan of Gales. Fan of Gales, I never used it too much, but now that it's gone, I appreciate how incredible of a thing it was. Um, I wish something like that existed in the game. Like, the value of pushing monsters away from you is incredible. It's incredible. Like I cannot stress it enough, especially if you don't have to cast any spells or do anything too fancy. Like if you just have an item that pushes away from you, is like great. Bane might be good here. Yeah, I was thinking of using Ice Blast here in this direction, so it hits 5 monsters that are affected with Inner Flame, including all the 3 Quicksilver Usos. So hopefully some explosions happen. I kill these 6 monsters, and I can walk away at least one turn, and then I can just like blink to safety. Does File still have a bit of knockback? It does have some knockback. Can you roll southeast? I cannot roll anywhere because of the lava. Yeah, there's nothing you can charge at if I press it. Um, or does the lava stop it? The lava does stop it, particle phase. The lava does stop it, unfortunately. Yep. So I think the correct thing to do is indeed to Ice Blast. It's gonna hurt me, but it's not gonna hurt me a lot because 48 evasion or 48 armor class and cold resistance, and you can read my cat walking across the keyboard while you type. I figured that it was that kind of thing happens to me that my hands are misaligned and I type, but because my hands are misaligned one key, like all the keys are wrong by one key. So I kind of figured that's kind of what happened there. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, I didn't explode. I was kind of expecting to die. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. Like I was expecting this guy to really hurt me, but it very obviously didn't happen. Flame, inner flame. Hmm. Mm, mm. You cannot read scrolls. Yeah, we got some really nasty slime levels where I was just sandwiched between 2 bands of slime creatures. This is not even the first time this happens. Um, I guess I could try to file a flots to push monsters away. Like as long as I get one tile where I can step on, that's all I need. So I can move away, break the engulfment, and then just blink. Um, but I still don't know. Let's see if I really was expecting things to die from that one of Ice Blast, but it very evidently didn't happen. And I cannot use Qazlal, File of Thoughts, to push monsters away, I guess. Okay, misses the Quicksilver ooze. Beautiful. Aha, am I dead? I might be dead. It did push the monster, which is the funny part. But unfortunately, I was unable to push the monster that I wanted to push. It's Titanic. I am dead. I feel like I am. I feel like there's nothing that I can do here to survive reliably. Subs. I don't have that, but my current sub count is 25, Poncho, if you want to know. Hello, good to see you around. Thank you for stopping by, Poncho. I appreciate it. Maybe I should have hasted, like a couple turns ago. I guess I have to try to charm the Titanic slime creature because it hits me for 110 and I die. Hey, it's a coin flip. I know that I'm gonna fail the coin flip, but let's try. It resists. Aha! Ah, okay. And so we go from literally death to free to surviving. You're gonna get the processor? Don't get that one. Don't get that one. I'll send you something on WhatsApp after I'm done. Oh, you have a Shrek? Did you upload a Shrek? Oh, you uploaded a Shrek. That's pretty neat. I like your current selection of emotes. Pretty good. I am going to read Blinking to get out of here. Okay, that should be fine. We don't die from that. Okay. Took the hatch upstairs. Unfortunately, we don't get punished from using a hatch. Yeah, I know that you need like a better processor already, but don't get that one. I am going to get you a better processor. Yeah, I also want a better computer for streaming myself. Unfortunately, we are kind of in the process of getting to the point where I can afford to make that kind of upgrade. We're still not there yet, but one of these days it's gonna happen. Let me tell you that dealing with Titanic slime creatures with this character is pretty awful, because I apparently cannot hex them or charm them, and they hurt. Oh, well, finally! This is the first time in the game that I managed to hex a Titanic slime creature, so might as well take advantage of that. Alrighty. That was unnecessarily close. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Unnecessarily close. Okay, got back my repel missiles. Well, yeah, probably shouldn't be rolling around so happily. Don't do that. I think I just have to sit here on the stairs and wait for monsters to come over here. Stair dance them, wait until I'm back at full HP. Go down, rinse and repeat until everything is dead or I get the royal jelly. Okay, there we go. They hurt because I don't have evasion or shield. Wow, I only have 5 shield because my piety is so low. That is pretty sad. Okay, go upstairs before the rock slime pushes me away from the stairs. Probably should have gone upstairs before because I was trying to kill the shining eye so it couldn't malmutate me. But I probably should have gone upstairs immediately after the rock slime was next to me. Getting pushed away from the stairs would have kind of forced me to use teleport or blinking in order to survive. And I would have been okay with teleport. Okay, royal jelly time. Or I could loot it into this trap to make it teleport away. Should I do that? I think I might be fine. What if I hadn't thought of it, but what if I phantom mirror the royal jelly? I don't think I've ever tried that. Okay. Okay, my royal jelly is hitting the royal jelly, but I don't think it summoned anything. Works pretty well in your experience. let's see how it goes. Let me mute that. Sorry for that. We are going to Ice Blast. It barely deals any damage, of course, because I don't have that much evocations. It's only 9. Your experience is, of course, very dated. Probably still valuable. There's some things that don't quite work that well anymore, such as Torment Immolation for the Royal Jelly. That's why I haven't done it, but immolation in a controlled way is still kind of decent, I think. Like for example, I think here would be good, or it would be good because it affects so many monsters. The Quicksilver's Usos don't get affected, but the other monsters do get affected. I think I'm gonna wait. Okay, I don't want to hurt my Royal Jelly because my Royal Jelly will immediately disappear upon getting hurt. Okay. No, there's no way for me to target the Royal Jelly without targeting my Royal Jelly. And it is immune to acid, so there's not any wand of acid things that I could do here. Yeah, it would be weird if it was not immune to acid. Maybe I should haste. Yeah, I think I should start with haste. Okay. This is my Royal Jelly. I wonder where the Royal Jelly went. Okay, my Royal Jelly died. Maybe use a Scroll Summoning for support. Wow, I got 4 slime creatures, Quicksilver Ooze and an Acid Blob. Not even a single Rock Slime, which is nowadays the more powerful thing that exists here. The fight was not going well, but also it was not so awful as the fight that we had earlier. Okay. I feel like I cannot leave the level because if I leave the level, I lose the damage that I have already dealt to the Royal Jelly. Okay, I lost 2 dexterity. I think I can live with that. I of course would have preferred that not to happen, but... Oh, you regenerate quickly or something? Or why are you back at full HP? I haven't even been away for that long. Okay, that lava is gonna be convenient. Ooh, looking pretty good. We're dealing massive damage with Upheaval here. I'm liking this. Yeah, I think this is the kind of fight where Upheaval will shine, because we're fighting many monsters at the same time. So pretty much every Upheaval that I do is for near maximum value. And there we go. Now I have to deal with the rest of these guys, so it is kind of awkward. But at least we only got 1 Rock Slime, which is almost dead. Last Immolation? Sure. Aha, explosions. Yeah, looking pretty good. Alrighty. That was it. 16 corrosion, by the way. At least I didn't die, so that's the upside. Stat rot, and what else? Okay, we didn't get anything else. I think I wanna maybe heal some of my mutations. Depends on how many potions we got. Oh, we got 8. Yeah, we can do that for sure. Is that another Laya-Tang? A Laya-Tang of Pain. Fancy. We picked up a Ring of Strength that I don't need. That's a Ring of Willpower with upside. I'm gonna use it. Definitely would allow me to roll over lava. if we come to such a situation again. So I'm not gonna say no to it. So yeah, let's drink a potion of mutation. Oh, okay. We got some. We got all the mutations removed, and I got a good mutation that I don't particularly care about. So I am very happy with that usage of potion of mutation. Since I'm likely that anything other than speed light attack will beat my current, yes, it definitely does. I think even a speed light attack, I wouldn't be so thrilled to get it because it would most likely not be fully enchanted, and my current light attack is already fully enchanted. It's also vampiric. Like it's so hard to beat a vampiric Gladiator tank. Oh yeah, let's take a look at that. We got resistance to electricity. I unfortunately would lose cold resistance if I was to use that. That doesn't make me so happy, but we can use that. Lose the ring of resistance to corrosion, this one, and put on ice dragon scales, maybe gold dragon scales. Yeah, gold dragon scale sounds like the correct thing to do. Um, we have them, right? We don't have them. Well, in that case, I guess we can use ice dragon scales. We could enchant those. We could also dip into Sot without my endgame armor, just rolling around with these resistances and try to get something done like that. Try to find gold scales in Sot. Okay, before I leave, let's take a look at the items that I'm leaving behind in case I want to pick something up. But no, maybe the Ice Dragon skills, but hopefully Sod will be good for me. Oh, look at that. Another Vampiric Laya tank, in case I didn't have enough already. Oh, wait, enchant weapon, enchant weapon. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and enchant my anti-magic Laya tank because it might be useful for Orbs of Fire. After all, I can't vamp them, and they're really weak against anti-magic. Mm, so I guess we're gonna go to Sot. Experience level 23 Sot with 3 pips of piety. I guess I could maybe even think about doing crypt for some Qazlal piety. Okay, looking pretty good. We even got a 4th pip of piety during that fight. Storm Dragon. We don't get resistance to electricity because Qazlal doesn't like giving me that, and so we're getting multi-sapped. This is a K-Man. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, good to see you around. Fingers crossed for storm scales. No storm scales. Okay. I think when it comes to those storm dragons, I'm gonna have to remember and just switch to this ring when I have to fight them. Yeah, it does give me weakness to cold. I definitely do not like it, but it's better than not having resistance to electricity. Okay. All right, Golden Dragon, please drop scales. I need them. I need them. Oh, the disappointment, the betrayal. I cannot believe it. Well, the search continues for either gold scales or storm scales. Yeah, there's gonna be so many golden dragons that I would be very surprised if I failed to get gold scales. And here they are. Okay, so the character has greatly improved. Let's get out of here so I can safely switch to wearing these. 35 armor class. How much armor class do I lose from the chainmail? Your armor class would be increased by 2. Okay, well, I will for sure get rid of those. And now we can probably just stick with what I'm currently using. No resistance to negative, but I have all the other resistances. Shadow Dragons will be kind of scary because of that. I feel not like I feel like I need to have two sources of willpower to not get destroyed by a leech. Um, so I will not take off the ring of willpower and 6 dexterity for the resistance and negative, unless I really need to. Um, we shall see how that goes. Okay, enchant armor on the gold scales. Do I have? I must have more enchant armor. I guess I can always go do elf. Because now I have the resistance to electricity. Finally, I have resistance to electricity, so we can probably go to elf. And after doing slime, this shouldn't be too much of an issue. By the way, I find it really funny that I went into elf and we have a sorcerer within line of sight. Yeah, there's so many characters that would immediately just like leave if they saw a sorcerer in line of sight of the entrance to elf and never return. And that this character would have been in exactly that position earlier in the game, but not anymore. Mm, okay, yeah. I think I could even dive this place. I don't think I would be. Oh, never mind. We got a scroll of blinking right here. Do we have a trove? Just out of curiosity. No trove generated, it seems. Unless it can generate here, I don't think we are gonna be getting a trove. Mm, I hope that the elf loot is nice. It would be very funny that the one game where I almost didn't do elf, elf has like the perfect items for my character. It would be really really funny if it happened. Mm. So I've been playing Rift Wizard, and in Rift Wizard, corners are magical and weird. Like for example, if I was to target a spell in Rift Wizard in on the other side of a corner like this one, of a choke point, I guess, I would not be hit, even if I targeted it here. But in Crawl, it very obviously is not the case. I wonder why it works like that in Rift Wizard, but it doesn't work in Crawl. Mm. Must have something to do with the fact that the line of sight is not a circle, it is a square line of sight. Mm. Okay, that chainmail would have been a very happy or a very good thing for me to have. I would have been very happy if I got it earlier in the game, but we are not at that point anymore. I'm just here looking for some scrolls of enchant armor, maybe some rings to complement my character. I guess I would be happy if I got a good cloak, I guess, because like what else is there for me to upgrade? Um, maybe the body armor, maybe the cloak. And very unlikely for me to be able to upgrade either the hat of the globes because they just give me so much slaying, and this character needs all the help that it can get killing things. We need to kill things fast, and we need to hit them really hard to take advantage of the vampiric. Hmm. Saint Roca, or is it just a normal orc band? Why was that deep elf annihilator mighty? Did it drink a potion of might or something dumb like that? You are an annihilator. You hit for like 10 probably. Oh, 12. Yeah, you're not gonna do much with your potion of might. Maybe if it was a potion of brilliance, it would have been more scary. Okay, we get paralyzed by an air elemental. Um, that stunning burst thing that the air elementals do also the Hell's enemy, the Cocytus only enemy, Wendigo, also do, and they are so scary um, because they also deal crazy good damage in a fireball that you cannot dodge. Those guys are insane. Yeah, I would say that they are probably on the same league that Hellions and Tormentors are. Maybe even above them because the damage that they deal is um, is higher, and they also can paralyze you. So maybe they're stronger than Hellions and Tormentors, and they're like between them and the really really dangerous things that you can see in Hells like the Fiends. Mm. Okay, we got Saint Roka. Saint Roka died in like 3 attacks. So at this point in the game, Saint Roka no longer challenges my character. And for that, I am most grateful. Mm, okay. For at least it's one of those bolts that only has one entrance. I like to get that kind of bolt because when you get one that has many entrances, that also makes it likely for elves to leave and wander around the level. And I prefer my elves to be all bunched up together so I can kill them easily with immolation or tin of tremor stones. Or I guess in this case, upheaval. We have been farming a fair amount of piety, not experience, piety with Qazlal after going into elf. I think I went into elf with 3 pips of piety, or was it early 4 pips of piety? No, it was 3, and now we have gotten 5 pips of piety. Oh, I'm still not done with the level. Hold on, I'll come back for you later, Mr. High Priest. I hope that I didn't make too much noise. Okay. Oh, why would you roll towards the Earth Elemental? Roll towards the Summoner, which proceeded to get one shot. I didn't even deal that much damage to it. I still got one shot. Probably rolled pretty bad on the HP department. That poor Deep Elf. Castle never makes too much noise. Castle definitely does make too much noise. We're gonna be grabbing that potion of cancellation. And that's it. I don't care about anything else from that shop. Okay, I really should recolor my Deep Elf Knights because right now they are the same color as the Deep Elf Annihilators. That doesn't seem, or that is not right. I know that is not right. Because a Knight and an Annihilator, they're like very different kinds of monsters. Okay, we are done with the levels, so now we have to get rid of the elves in the vault, and after that the loot is gonna be mine. Fortunately, it is gonna be juicy loot, I think. We got Asterion. Asterion had a chainmail of cold resistance. Would have been a nice thing to side grade into earlier in the game. Um, I know that I would have taken the 5 less armor class for the ability to actually walk away from things and in the process not be so much weaker with the cold resistance, which is something that I have been rather lacking this playthrough. The gold scales are giving me cold resistance now, but before the gold scales, yeah, it was a dark time for me and cold resistance. But it was never as bad as me and resistance to electricity. Okay, we got Clouds of Poison. I am not so much of a fan of Clouds of Poison, but I mean, they still kill elves pretty well. I can always help them. The elves just die faster using my Qazlal abilities or Tin of Tremor Stones. You're severely wounded and extremely poisoned. I think I'm gonna drink a potion of attraction to bunch these guys up to make them be more affected by upheaval. Okay, pretty good upheaval. Everyone is dying quite well. Um, I wish I healed from killing things. Instead of that, I have to melee them in order to heal. Okay, it's working extremely well. I very much enjoy this approach to Elf. Um, it is very rare for my characters to be able to do exactly what I'm doing right now. Just like drink attraction, stay here, and it's like throwing all the elves into the grinder. But this character can definitely do that kind of thing. And if you can do it, I think it's a very good way to do this. Pretty much the same thing that I did in Swamp a couple of hours ago with this character. Just went in, I read immolation, and then I used upheaval, and everything died. Hey, that ring has resistance to electricity and 6 strength. Ooh. Um, it does have the downside that I lose resistance to corrosion, but it is almost the same ring as the one that I'm using. Huh, that's very interesting. If only it had generated with willpower or something, so I could replace the other ring of willpower. I'm gonna carry it around because I might want to use that, but may not want to give myself um, weakness to cold. Well, I guess it's not weakness to cold, but it removes my resistance, and that's definitely not good. Skin of Sore, Ring of Willpower, 9 mana, 3 intelligence. We're gonna leave it on the floor. It's almost the Ring of the Mage if you think about it. What is that? Oh, I don't care about that ring. Or this one. Or that one. Or those potions. The Amulet of the Air. We cannot use that on this character. In fact, I think there's not a lot of characters where I would be happy to use the Amulet of the Air. It is unfortunate because it is kinda cool, but the inaccuracy kinda ruins it for me. Never been too excited to give myself a possible extra weakness, which would be in this case weakness to the RNG. I think maybe some characters can use it, like the characters that are happy to use explosions and effects that just don't check evasion. This character could be one of those, but I cannot just upheaval everything to death every fight. That's not how upheaval works. That's definitely not how Qazlal works. We have to rely on mind melee, so here we go. Back to Sot we go. Did we get anything good here? I think we did get one or two very interesting rings and a scroll of Enchant Armor, so it was not so bad. Unfortunately, that's it for my Enchant Armor aspirations. I think we're gonna have to win with a +2 gold scales. This character didn't get a lot of scrolls of Enchant Armor. I received that Barding of Fire Resistance as, I think, +1, I think. And I only got enough to enchant it to +4 and then put the rest of the scrolls of Enchant Armor on these gold scales. So yeah, back to Sod we go. Okay, Sphinx. Roll towards the Sphinx. Escape the slaughter in depth 1. Okay, lost a bit of piety there. Yeah. I wonder if piety decay is actually gonna go away from the game. I wonder, because I've heard some things about that. I have been taking some peeks at the GitHub, and it might be a possibility that piety decay gets removed. Someone sent a pull request for that, and who knows. I think I would be okay with piety decay getting removed. For practical purposes, I don't really notice it too much, but I do find it annoying on characters that are susceptible to it. Berserkitis. Last time I got Berserkitis from an Orb of Fire, I meleeed, and the immediate next turn after I got it and I meleeed, I became Berserk, and I died because I didn't have poison resistance. Now, this character does have poison resistance, so I don't think that will happen, but I couldn't help to remember because the situation is so similar. Rage 1%, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen after I meleeed. Okay, I've been missing. Subdued Magic, who cares? Removing Piety Decay would be a buff for Sif Muna? It definitely would. It would be a buff for many things. But it's just more quality of life thing than a buff, in my opinion. We're gonna try to charm this Death Cough. 73%, because I never turned off evocations. Let's turn that off. Let's turn on Armor instead. Armor and Fighting. Okay, Anti-Magic is doing wonders against this Orb of Fire. After we got the ball rolling, the Orb of Fire has been failing to do anything. Since Orbs of Fire don't have melee, they literally only can stand there while you poke them with your anti-magic implement. We're gonna try to charm the Death Cub again. We succeed. Surprising. Not a fan of this situation. I feel like there's too many dangerous guys surrounding me, and I am at 50% HP. Okay, not for long. However, when I heal, I feel like I heal pretty good. Um, Perks of having so much slay, I suppose. Let's displace the Death Cough to get it removed before it becomes uncharmed again. Okay, and yeah, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Do I still not have resistance to electricity? No, I do. And now I have that, and I also have cold resistance. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to truly fear anymore. I think I can kinda just hold down tab to win the game now. Well, I guess there's Shadow Dragons. Those are like the combination of can't bamp, can't anti-magic, and will hit you for the kind of damage that I don't resist. So I'm kind of scared of those. But leaving those aside, we should be fine. Okay, Shadow Dragon. We get rid of it rather easily. At least they don't have that much evasion. Evasion on monsters is way worse than armor class. Because with evasion on monsters, you don't know if you're gonna be able to kill them with melee. With armor class, you can very easily see a D4 orc warrior wearing plate, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I can't kill that, and so you choose not to fight it. But with evasion, there's always a chance for a monster that you killed very easily earlier in the game, just like dodges 17 attacks in a row and kills you from full HP. Yep, been there. We are gonna try to charm this Death Cough that we have right here. Okay, it's charmed. And if you're wondering why I'm charming the Death Cops, they're melee slows monsters, and it doesn't check willpower or anything. So it will just slow whatever it would be supporting otherwise. And that happens to be an extremely good thing. Um, yeah, there we go. 2 Death Cops. All right. Um, that's surprising that 2 Death Cops appeared. I'm gonna try to char or not to paralyze one of them, the one that's not slow. So we paralyze it, and then we get rid of the one that's slow, and then we get rid of the one that's paralyzed. Perfect. Berserkitis, I completely forgot. I might want to get rid of those. I do have 9 potions of mutation, so I can afford to be very free with my use of those. I got the worst mutation in the game. Yeah, I think I need to get rid of that. Let's drink it. Let's drink this again. You feel you can roll further. Wow, I didn't know about that. Also, I got um, the second level of the horns. Yeah, if I get the third level of the horns, I'm gonna lose my Hat of War, and I'm gonna be disappointed in the game if I do end up losing my Hat of War. So that was a very eventful SOT one. I feel like there were many fights and they were rather dangerous for my character. Ouch. Okay, corridor. We can hex that Berserk Draconian. That's my recommendation for you to do whenever you are fighting a Berserk Draconian. Almost all of them, except for the purple ones, have very bad willpower, so you can easily hex them and make them fight the monsters instead of fighting you. Usually they die in the process, but this one happened to just kill everything, surprisingly. Okay, it is no longer charmed and it's still Berserk. That's crazy. Monster Berserk lasts for quite a while. So I guess I'm gonna paralyze it instead. Oh, okay. I failed to paralyze it, but it became on Berserk. So we can easily kill it then. Let me tell you that I was expecting the inability to run away from things to be a more noticeable part of this character. That's a good word to use. Noticeable, but it definitely was not. I think this character was just powerful enough that it very rarely needed to walk away from situations, and whenever it did feel like walking away, the correct thing to do with this character was to straight up just read a scroll of teleport, and I think it would have been the case even if I hadn't been wearing the ponderousness. So I used ponderousness for such a long part of the game, and it definitely paid off. Let me tell you, it carried me to this point after all. Mm. It does kind of require you to think about it or to keep it in mind, because if you don't keep it in mind and you like just play like normal running away from things, you're gonna end up giving things free turns, and that can very easily go pretty bad. Okay, looking like we are done with SOT 2. Oh, Cloak of Willpower. Okay, we can wear that and put on. No. I was thinking wear that, put on a Ring of Cold Resistance, but we don't have a good Ring of Cold Resistance, or maybe we do. No, we don't. We have that Ring of Cold Resistance with 4 intelligence. Oh wait. Oh, it's a chainmail. It's not a ring. Why is it appearing then? Oh yeah, because I searched for cold resistance. No wonder. But yeah, we if that chainmail was a ring, it would be a very desirable ring for this character. I wish I could break it into a ring. After all, chainmail is kind of just like a bunch of rings. Mm. I'm pretty sure I could just wear the one that gives all the properties if I don't want the armor class. Okay, I don't want the tentacle monstrosity to be berserk, so we immediately get rid of the Moth of Wrath. In fact, I probably should have rolled at the Moth of Wrath to remove that possibility. But instead of that, I decided to be rather greedy and wait for it to step closer to me. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I think that Moth of Wrath stepped on the Sod Trap and it didn't trigger it. So I feel like I got rather lucky there. But I rectify my mistake and fight outside of the line of sight of that Sod Trap. If you don't do that, you are going to get paralyzed and killed. So yeah, if you shouldn't fight in line of sight of a Sod Trap pretty much ever. Sometimes there's no other like option. You have to do it, but if you have the option, don't do it. Don't get lazy with your tabbing and just like position yourself in a way that won't get you killed. Okay, Storm Scales, too late for that. I no longer have Berserkitis, right? I don't. I got the enhancement for the roll, as I mentioned. You can roll at nearby foes to attack with A. Each level of this mutation increases the distance you can roll, and not the damage dealt. Okay. That's a pretty nice roll. I wonder if you, can roll the entirety of the screen if you get the final level of the mutation. The more tiles you reveal all of a sudden, the more dangerous it is, by the way. So it is probably not recommended to roll because it can be an extremely dangerous thing to do. But it is definitely a funny thing to do. I'm glad that I started as a warper because I did use the synergy of warper plus Palentonga letting you blink away and then roll at things in the early game. That was pretty good. Also, I guess you get blink. Blink by itself is a good thing because it lets you run away from otherwise very messed up early game situations, such as having a Nugger within melee range upon auto-exploring. Did I get malmutated? I think I already have that. I don't think I care. How many tiles before you can roll? Let's take a look. Next time I see a monster, I'm gonna check. Okay, I can roll at that Moth of Wrath, but it was too close. There's nothing you can charge at. There is a sod trap there, so break line of sight. Okay. Just... Oh no, I was within line of sight of the sod trap still. Okay, that's pretty far away. I think that's as far as we can roll. So it's 5 tiles pretty much. You only need 1 tile gap. Oh, how many tiles before? Yeah, I only need 1 tile. I thought that you meant that you were asking the opposite. I misread. I thought that you were asking how long or how many tiles. What's the maximum that I could roll? But no. The enhancement to the roll feels pretty neat. It's crazy. It feels like I'm rolling so far away. Okay, but it's not that amazing. Still, or yet, maybe I do end up getting the final level of that mutation. I like that all these draconians happen to get high level or high quality cloaks, because you can go in here with a regular +1 cloak or something along those lines and walk away with a cloak of preservation, a cloak of willpower, or a cloak of poison resistance. You're almost guaranteed to see those here, because all of these draconians, or most of them, generate with cloaks. And yeah, it's just like so many cloaks that it's unlikely that you will not find something as good as those that I mentioned. We are going to drink a potion of 3 here, because I don't want to get tormented by the curse though. Okay, probably should have done that in a different order, because the purple draconian could have removed the tree form, and that would have been rather annoying. Not that I particularly care too much. After all, I have a bunch of potions of 3 and not enough potential situations where I would like to use them at this late stage in the game. Yeah, tree form is pretty good for dealing with cursed toes specifically. I guess curses goes too. For other tormentors, it can be dangerous. But yeah, I've used tree form in my Dungeon Depths Pandemonium sod runs. So yeah, like going into Pandemonium experience level 22 or something, after clearing or trying to clear Depths 5, and then using tree form against Glork's block. Yeah, I don't know if that kind of run is gonna be possible in the game as it is now. I feel like the game no longer has enough experience for you to be able to do that kind of thing. And if I tried to do it, and I might try soon, just to see how viable it is for the tournament in a couple of months. Yeah, I feel like if I tried, I would be walking into Pandemonium at experience level 19 or so, and you kind of do feel the lack of HP from being such a low level when going into Pandemonium. You don't really feel the lack of skills that much, because at least the way I do it is that I like to pump invocations, and I like to go with the shining one, and I try to make the angels kill the early depths levels for me, because the early depths levels are too difficult. If you're going from D15 to depths 1, it's like not the easiest thing in the world. We got one of those rare sod levels or one of those rare sod 5 generations where all the entrances are blocked by traps. So yeah, that's not gonna be fun. Especially this dispersal trap, and the alternative is a sod trap. The two of them can easily get me killed. At maximum distance of 5,000, rolling faster than normal travel to get adjacent to the monster you're attacking. All rolls take 1 turn. 1 turn, it's all that that it takes to roll next to a monster. It is very fast, but only when it comes to walking towards monsters. Oh, come on. The Quicksilver Dragon immediately removed the mark. That's super lame. Also, why was that Quicksilver Dragon there? I thought that I had already cleared everything, but apparently not. And of course, the only monster that I failed to kill was a Quicksilver Dragon. Um, I apparently am not loud enough for these monsters to come out of the vault. Huh. Maybe the Qazlal noise was nerfed. Unfortunate. Really, really, really unfortunate. Mm, so what can I do? Do I have a scroll of noise? Hmm. I guess I could go to Depths 1, grab a scroll of noise. Did I get shafted in Depths 1? Did I never clear Depths 1? Okay, I guess I can clear Depths 1. Maybe Depths 1 has something funny for me. Didn't even notice that I got shafted. Wow, that's some loot. Ice Blast once? That could also make a lot of noise. But we are gonna be using a scroll of noise. Did I pick it up? I did. Okay. Go slot 5. Step somewhere around here. Can I see this? Because I don't want to see that. That's like a really bad thing to see. Also, a really bad thing to see is this. So I also don't want to see that. But leaving those aside, I would like to step here and read the scroll of noise. Nothing? Huh, okay, that's funny. Well, we are in a bit of a pickle then, because if that didn't work, I guess I'm forced to try to go in the hard way. There's gotta be a way to do this. No way, I can't believe it. The one time that I need an item that removes my ability to teleport, and I don't have it. Is it too dangerous to trigger an alarm trap? Not really. Well, it is, but this character can handle it. The issue is that the only alarm trap that existed in this level was there, and I immediately saw Quicksilver Dragon after triggering the alarm, and it removed the ability for me to do so. Cast Shatter. Cast Shatter. I wish I had Shatter. Let's do the Ice Blast technique. No shouting or anything? Seriously? Is anyone home? Okay, that's gonna be bad. Um, gonna read a scroll Fogu. It's not gonna do anything because that is a downside of Qazlal that I have not talked about. But Qazlal giving you clouds removes the ability for you to place clouds of opaque clouds. As a result, you cannot use Fogu, and that is not good. Mm, can you trigger an alarm trap from SOT 4, then go down to SOT 5? Do I have an alarm trap in SOT 4? Not that I can see, only SOT traps and shafts, unfortunately. But yeah, that is like very nice thinking outside of the box. Maybe scrolls of noise. I already tried a scroll of noise. I stepped here and I read a scroll of noise and it didn't do anything. Like not even monster shouts. I don't know why monsters fail to be pulled towards me. Super weird, I have to say. Super duper weird. Um, so yeah, I guess we're gonna read a scroll of Fogu. I know that it's not gonna be good because of these. So a bunch of monsters that could be there will be able to see me, and that's not that amazing. But at least it blocked the line of sight of the Lich, and now I can use this time to haste, maybe even invisibility. Ooh, that's bad. That is exactly what I wanted to prevent. Um, I guess we're just gonna fight now. Might. Resistance, because why not? If I'm just gonna buff with everything. Um, and attraction. I also want attraction. Aha. Now we can kill the Ancient Lich. And it's very important for me to get rid of that guy first. Okay. Yes, get over here, Mr. Lich. I'm not going over there. The wonders of attraction. When attraction is good, it's real good. But it requires you to be already powerful enough to be able to do attraction and not die in the process. Elemental force. Right, we get some elemental friends. Hopefully they will help me. Death Cove in melee range, better charm that. Please slow the Orb of Fire. Anti-magic. That's fine. Are you slow already? You're not. Okay. Alright, we're fine. So I have been playing a lot of Rift Wizard, right? And while playing Rift Wizard, I've been thinking that the complexity of any given turn in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is way less than the complexity of the easiest turn. Like I think the hardest turn in Crawl is gonna be easier than the easiest turn in Rift Wizard. Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration because you do get to fight against bats and rats, and well, not rats. I don't think I've seen rats, but you do get to fight against bats and kobolds and like goblins, weak monsters that don't have anything special other than their melee in Rift Wizard. But maybe I would say that the average Rift Wizard level is, or like turn, is way more complex than the average Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup turn. Mm. I've been thinking about that a lot while playing Rift Wizard, as I have mentioned. Um, I like it. I like it a lot, but it is very exhausting to play. That's why I haven't really been playing on stream so much. But I will definitely continue playing it on stream. Rift Wizard puts everything you need to think about on the screen. Crawl, you don't even know what you don't know. Yes. So you have to think about what you could be seeing in the future. Is that what you're talking about, Mike? It might be the case. Might be the case. But the thing is that in Rift Wizard, once you get to late enough levels, you start to see monsters that just can hit you anywhere on the stream, or anywhere on the screen, and that can get very quickly out of control. And you have to like take a look at all of them every turn to make sure that you're not missing anything. And in Crawl, you see less monsters, and therefore the turns become less complicated. I think I might have a wrong assessment of Crawl and Rift Wizard in that regard. Come on, seriously? These Orb Guardians are not being friends today. Normally they are like a joke. This time, not the case. And by the way, potions of heal wounds, right? Potions of heal wounds. You feel much better, and I still take a little bit of damage every turn. I guess it's better than taking a lot of damage, but I have a bunch of scrolls of blinking. Might as well use them. And I use one more to reposition into a place where I don't have a bunch of blink traps in line of sight. Yeah, I was failing to bamp those guys. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to roll at the Orb Guardian because I can. Oh, your gold scales prevent you from hitting the Orb Guardian. The betrayal, I cannot believe it. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this one bit. Yeah, it's funny that Orb Guardians out of everything are the thing that this character is kinda being getting scared of. Like that kind of thing straight up doesn't happen. Okay. Almost dead and paralyzed. You know, that seems to me like something that I want to roll against. Because of that. It was still not good enough. I really was expecting to heal like a ton of life from doing that because I did hit it and I did get the bamp, but the bamp roll was abysmal. Um, oh wow, it happened again. Like I hit it really hard. I got the vamp roll, and the vamp roll was abysmal. I got only 13 HP. Um, I cannot drink potions. I kind of wanna just keep tabbing. How do I die here if I keep tabbing? By the way, I have to say that I was not expecting to get hit by a buy because I have repel missiles from Qazlal, but I guess it's not that good with only 8 evasion. Not liking this, of course, because I cannot drink potions and I'm at rather low HP. But this guy is surrounded by air elementals. It will most likely get paralyzed. It's almost guaranteed for this guy to get paralyzed. Aha, there it is. Wow, it's just getting paralyzed chains or like chain paralysis. That kind of thing makes me feel bad about the monsters. They don't get the perks that players get. I'm pretty sure the monsters think, oh yeah, players cheat. You cannot even chain paralyze a player. Like, come on, that's cheating. Okay, there we go. That's more what I was expecting to happen. Rolling towards the Black Draconian and regaining a 38 HP is what I wanted to happen. Pretty much every turn during that fight against the Orb Guardians. Every time that I meleeed, I wanted that to happen, and it didn't happen even once. And of course, it happened only when I didn't need it to happen. Okay, found the Orb of Sot. I'll guess I'll pick that up at a later date, or rather in a couple of minutes. Rift Wizard added metal magic a few minutes ago, by the way. I saw. The way I have my stream layout set up is that wow, these Orc Guardians are like no joke. I cannot believe that they have been so dangerous for this character. Um, yeah, the way that I have my stream layout set up is that I have the Twitch chat, I have Discord, and I have my terminal to SSH into the server and play. So I see pings in Discord, and I normally have the crawl chat up, and I reply to things if I think that I can reply to them. Wow, that's pretty bad. I have half my maximum HP, and I have 4 killer clowns in line of sight. That is most definitely not the kind of fight that I am comfortable taking. I only have 5 blinking. I've been using it so much. I'm not so afraid of you because you don't even hit that hard and you hit me for electricity a lot, but now I have the resistance, so I should be okay. Okay, 3 pips of fire resistance. Hopefully that means nothing to fear when it comes to the Orb of Fire. Ooh, we're fighting so many top tier SOT monsters at the same time. Orb of Fire, Electric Golem, 4 Killer Clowns, and the Dread Lich. It really is not looking like a safe fight for me to take. Maybe I can Phantom Mirror the Dread Lich, hoping for it to summon a funny demon to support me. This guy's next to me. 2% chance to paralyze. That's the worst thing in the world. Like, 2% means that 49 out of 50 times it doesn't happen, but the one time it does happen. The one time it does happen. Oh man, I am so traumatized by percentage, by extremely low percentage chance for things to happen in this game. Okay, the Orb of Fire is heavily damaged. I wonder if I should melee the Dread Lich instead. Probably I should also haste, because I'm not hasted. Probably should have done that much, much earlier. Are you not gonna summon anything? You have summon Greater Demon and Paralyze. That's your whole shtick. Please do summon some things. Okay. Getting rid of the Dread Leech before I get paralyzed and killed. Okay. It's almost destroyed. Come on. Oh, it finally summoned something, an Ice Fiend. I hope that the Ice Fiend doesn't torment, because if it torments, that would be super, super bad. Oh, okay. My Dreadlich shimmers and vanishes. Do the Phantom Mirror monsters disappear when you kill the monster that you Phantom Mirrored? I actually have no idea. Maybe that's like a recent change. Um, doesn't say anything about that. Nope, doesn't say anything about it. I'm gonna assume that it doesn't work like that. Now, I would greatly appreciate it if you don't step on that sod trap, therefore paralyzing me and killing me. That would be most bad. Okay, okay. From all the things that could have happened, that's like the least bad thing. Seriously? Didn't kill a killer clown? Crazy. Didn't kill any killer clowns, and I got so many explosions too. I am tempted to do this. Really, really tempted to do this. Oh, maybe not like that. More like this. This does give me a possibility to not get hit by it, but most likely I will get hit by it. But if I target it like this, these three guys, which are the things that I want to hit, will not get hit by it because variance, right? So I guess we're gonna target it like this. I do get hit by it. I take 23 damage. I didn't kill anything. I didn't kill anything incredible, but yet it happened. Um, okay, I cannot believe it. I hit the two guys that I wanted to hit, and then I got silenced. I can still roll with Palentonga while silenced, so I'm okay with that. Heal wounds. Roll towards the electric golem. This guy blinking around is like the most dangerous thing in the world. Oh wow, you can roll over traps. I didn't know about that. I was kinda expecting to see the game say something along the lines of, are you sure you want to step over the sod trap while rolling? But it didn't do so. I'm not gonna complain about it, I'm just gonna take advantage of it then. The clown pie is repelled. We are gonna continue using Ice Blast here because it doesn't miss. How much evasion do you have? Not even that much. I cannot use invocations because I'm silenced. Acid, maybe, just to kill it. I could also roll towards it. Oh, you missed the killer clown. Delightful. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're kind of fighting the entirety of this part of the of the bolt in a single fight with those four killer clowns, the Orb of Fire, the second Orb of Fire that just appeared, the Ancient Lich, and this Electric Golem that has stayed in the fight for very long. I need to kill the Killer Clown first. Like to be completely honest, the Killer Clown is way more dangerous than the Electric Golem. The Electric Golem adds a bit of damage, but the Killer Clown can turn me into a bat and kill me like that. The Electric Golem cannot do anything like that. Wreath Tele time? Oh yeah, because I'm marked. So if there's any monsters left, they are gonna be coming towards me. Maybe Wreath Tele and just pick up the orb. That's probably the plan. You can stand in front of a permanent teleport trap, so monsters that try to get into melee range get teleported away. You can indeed do that. That's a pretty good thing to do for sure. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should just sit here and drink heal wounds until I teleport. Aha. Aha, and that's how you maneuver a monster around a sod trap to make it not step on it and therefore paralyze you and kill you. Berserkitis again. Okay. Let me drink mutation while we wait for the teleport to trigger. You feel frail, seriously? I still want to get rid of my mutations. Okay, good teleport. Finally, we get a glow explosion from all the contamination that I got from when the first monster stepped on the sod trap. Okay, let's continue drinking potions of mutation. That's oh, you passively dampen the noise of your surroundings. That's very funny. That's the most funny thing that I've seen in all of this game. No, actually, it's not. It's not. The most funny thing was when I read the scroll of brand weapon and I got chaos on the Laya tank. That was hilarious. Qazlal anti-synergy. Yeah, like I don't think it does anything if I'm with Qazlal. Okay, pretty good auto explore got me to Sod 1. And I got stopped by a Sun Demon, which is something that I can easily run away from. Okay, the Executioner. I don't think I have to fear it because I have 42 armor class, so I'm gonna just like leave the level, kill it. Funnily enough, that guy did accumulate a good amount of damage. Like that was pretty much 40 damage on that Executioner. Okay, Susik. One of the many Lords of Pandemonium, Susik has a skeletal body with hooked wings and a large fungus growing from its neck. That sounds painful. No spells. It does hit for 54 plus pain melee. It is weak to cold. Okay. It would be a shame if I was to upheaval, and probably upheaval until I get cold, and then you would die. Any second now. Okay. Wow, that's pretty underwhelming. I was expecting it to hit for way more than it did. Yeah, why did the cutting wind deal incredible damage to this Pandemonium Lord, but the cold effect that it's weak to didn't? Who knows? Cutting wind feels strange. So I'm just gonna walk around this guy because it doesn't have spells. And I'm gonna make it step on a shaft. Aha. And now we can continue our quest for D1. I wanted to kill that guy, but the game kind of said, no, your cold roll is gonna do nothing. So yeah. Maybe another Pandemonium Lord that's more likely to die will come across sometime soon. Okay, get rid of the Cacodemon. Just walk around those guys. They even have reaching, so they will not walk towards you. Another Executioner. Okay, that was it. We got one Pandemonium Lord. I think it was only one Pandemonium Lord. Yeah, I think it was only one. And it wasn't really a real Pandemonium Lord because it didn't have any spells. The dangerous part of any Pandemonium Lord is to the chance for it to get like Torment or a level 9 spell or Damnation. But that guy didn't even have any spells. Yeah, that's what's my win? Let's find out. Hold on. Let's see. We have won 103 games, counting this one. So, Rolling Thunder, pretty good title. Let me quiver a potion of invisibility. Okay then. I like how the game says okay then, because I quivered a potion of invisibility. So yeah, Rolling Thunder. That's a pretty funny title. Very fitting for a Palentonga of Qazlal. I like that they have a unique title. There's more unique titles that I would like to get, but I'm not gonna try to get. Like Mummy of Nemelex with invocations, you can get the Forbidden one, and there's like and Exodia, the Forbidden One account that only played one game, one with that title, and will probably never play another game again. Holy Roller for 27 invocations with Good God. That sounds more good than Qazlal. Like I can see myself doing that with the Shining one because Cleansing Flame is pretty amazing. Um, yeah, Cleansing Flame is so good. Anyway, that was a pretty funny character. From the very start, we got the Laya tank that became a Chaos Laya tank that became a Vampiric Laya tank that kind of won me the game. We also got exorbitant amounts of slaying, and we ended up getting pretty crazy good loot at the end. And I think this character needed the crazy good loot. Not gonna lie. If it was not for the loot, I would have been dead. Yeah, I don't think I would have survived. Cat now? I don't think so. Q's guard Brooks the Thunder rolls. Mm, hello, sir. You have a question about bolts. Does it roll its damage once for all targets, or is this a separate roll for each target? I have zero idea. I assume that you mean bolts like shooting acid, right? Um, I really don't know. I have zero idea. And for practical purposes, does it really matter? Because it also has to roll defenses against the monsters. So yeah, mm, it doesn't really matter. You just gotta point at the monster and hope that it works. Because a lightning bolt can do 1 damage or 120. Yeah, in that case, I think it does roll separate for each target. Um, I think it does roll separately because I have had bolt effects in the past hit a monster but deal no damage, and also in the same bolt deal a bunch of damage to a different monster. But it might also be related to defenses, as I mentioned. So who really knows? Mm. But anyway, we are going to win now with the Rolling Thunder title, and yeah, you have escaped. All right. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use the Dark Mole, but that's a pretty funny thing to have. If this character had gone down a different path, I would have been able to manifold with Dark Mole, but that is another character. You believe it's separate based on anecdotal evidence? Yeah, it's quite probably separate. Um, Anyway, very exhausting character. Also, I don't think I was experience level 27. Yes, I was experience level 26. It does take a while for for characters nowadays to get to 27. Kind of fast game for me. It only took me 5 hours to get the win here. Um, we have 3 careful odds characters and a particle phase character. Nice. This time there's no shaper characters. Um, So yeah, I did say that I wanted to try something else, right? During the stream, I said that I wanted to play maybe Kobold of